TV 20. WXON Detroit.
The following is an exclusive presentation of the Hughes Television Network. The Golden Jet, Bobby Hull, returns to the National Hockey League as a member of the Hartford Whalers and scores a goal in his first game in green and white. And Daryl Sittler, the beleaguered Toronto captain, leads the Leafs back into contention with 10 points in 2 games, including a hat trick in Pittsburgh. NHL 80 is brought to you by Tegrin Shampoo with the medication judge.
His late movie will not be seen tonight. Stay tuned for Red Wing Hockey next, right here on TV 50. Detroit Red Wing Hockey is brought to you by AMC, your Metro Detroit AMC dealer, featuring the American Eagle. And by Budweiser, for all you do, this Bud's for you. And by Peschke, and the all-new Peschke Great American Premium line of products. And by Little Caesars, a winner any way you slice it. And by Bank of the Commonwealth, trying hardest to help.
Tonight from Los Angeles, California, the Detroit Red Wing Hockey Club brings you the game between the Detroit Red Wings and the Los Angeles Kings. So as we say hi again, everybody, Bruce Martin along with Sid Abel, and in just a moment or two, these teams will get this hockey game underway, 8 o'clock here in California. Sid, 10 to go, including tonight's hockey game, and the Red Wings find themselves in 16th place in the National Hockey League right now, 17th as a matter of fact. That's one below final playoff spot.
It's the first time that we've gone below the line, so that means that we have to win some hockey games, Bruce. This is a big game tonight, but there's another big one on Friday, another big one on Saturday, and it's a case now. The Wings have to win some hockey games or they're not going to be in the playoffs.
Red Wings missing a couple of regulars tonight. Willie Huber will sit out a 1-game suspension. He was given a game misconduct for reasons even the hockey team isn't sure about on the final game played between the Red Wings and Winnipeg. And that was his 3rd of the season, so he sits it out. And Glenn Hicks has a bad back and will not be able to play tonight, so the Wings reached into their farm system and brought up a young defenseman. He's been around a couple of seasons now. His name is Rick Vasco, and there he is, Sid.
You know, and he's played pretty well. He has scored 22 goals and 39 assists down the Adirondack Red Wings in the American League, so he knows where the net is, and he could be a big help for the hockey club right now going down the line.
Well, there's a big help to the Los Angeles Kings, a former Red Wing star, and now a fellow who's developed into one of the real superstars of the National Hockey League, and you're going to be talking to him in the first intermission. I speak of Marcel Dion.
Oh, he's just been poisoned to the Red Wings. I don't know what it is, whether he just gets up more when they play the Wings or not, but he has scored more points, practically 2 points a game since the time he left Detroit to come over here to L.A. Just poison.
That's against the Red Wings. Since Marcel Dion left Detroit and came on to Los Angeles, he has played something like 29 games against the Wings, and in those 29 games, 50 points, 22 goals, and 28 assists, and that's just about phenomenal. A couple of final scores that we have in and of some importance to Detroit. The Hartford Whalers at home continue their fine play. They tied Montreal Canadiens 5-5 tonight, and the Toronto Maple Leafs defeated a team that beat the Red Wings 6-2 2 nights ago, the Winnipeg Jets, and they just clobbered them by a score of 9-1. The work to be done here will be against the Los Angeles Kings, and we'll be back with the opening face-off in just a moment.
Hey, guess who gets 21 miles per gallon? Surprised? A lot of folks are. But the 1980 Jeep CJ with a feisty 4-cylinder engine gets the best gas mileage of any 4-wheel drive vehicle built in America. And EPA estimated MPG of 21 and a highway estimate of 25.
Plus, right now, your AMC Jeep dealer has a soft top special listing for only $99. That's right, only $99. Take advantage of this great value now.
This Bud's for everybody who puts in a hard day's work.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
How does the Bank of the Commonwealth help me? Well, I got my checking and my savings there, but more important, when I need help, they really understand me. I mean, this guy here, he's studying law, and this bum, oh, he's into medicine. I mean, every old man wants his kid to do better than he did. So, between my back and my bank, my kid's got a future. Hey, Doc, start operating.
Trying hardest to help. That's the Bank of the Commonwealth.
My son, the judge.
I'm doing something a little unusual to prove how Turf Builder fertilizer works. See, before your grass can start to thicken, it's got to get growing, and that's what Turf Builder is all about. It helps get your grass off to a fast start, so it can send off new branches, which will form new grass plants to thicken up your lawn. But the main thing is to feed your lawn Turf Builder now, because the sooner you get it growing, the sooner it's going to thicken up, and there's your proof.
And we're back here at center ice is a little lady familiar to Detroit hockey fans, Joey English, who will sing our national anthems.
Oh, Canada, our own and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free, and stand on guard, oh Canada, stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, glorious and free, we stand on guard, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail, and the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air,
Well, I think Sidney Joey's gone a little Hollywood since she left Detroit.
Yes, I should say so. She really put a little emphasis on.
There's Detroit's starting goaltender, Jimmy Rutherford. Dale McCourt standing alongside him as Jimmy adjusts the map, and he'll be making the start in the hockey game for the Red Wings tonight. Jimmy, who's been making his share of starts in recent hockey games, and there's a young fellow making his 4th start, and he's yet to win a game for the Los Angeles Kings. His name is Doug Keane. So we're about to get this hockey game underway. The Red Wings are going to start. Vasco out on the defense to get things underway. He'll be paired with Barry Long. Up front will be Dale McCourt with Mike Foligno and John Ogrodnik. Number 25 for the Los Angeles Kings is Don House. He's got Murphy in one wing and Jensen on the other. The hockey game underway here in Los Angeles. Center ice, Dale McCourt. Puck bounced to the line. House cleared it back to the Detroit blue line, and this is Barry Long with it. Now Long's pass knocked into the right at the blue line, knocked away by Rob Palmer. Turning with it now is Murphy. Murphy playing it out on the right side. Cutting in is Jensen. It's knocked away by Ogrodnik. He cleared it along the boards on the right side. Barry Long has it. Long dumped it out center ice. It was knocked down there. Jensen plays it. Rather, Dave Lewis, number 26, back along the defense for Los Angeles. It's cleared into the Detroit zone. Vasco's pass comes up to Ogrodnik. Knocked off stride. It came back to Vasco. He dumped it, but not out. It's held in by House. There's Murphy firing a shot and went in behind the Detroit goal. Lewis held it in at the blue line. Murphy takes it off to the side of the net. He's checked right there by Barry Long, and Long comes up with a puck and starts out. Now Barry Long, he's got Ogrodnik with him. The puck sliding into the Los Angeles zone. Foligno fought his way in, but his pass knocked down out in front. Coming back with it now is House. Here's House carrying back into the Detroit zone. Fired a shot wide. Jim Korn, number 26 of the Red Wings, in after it. Now Korn away from Charlie Simmer, brings it out to Dennis Polonich. Just missed the linesman. That went off the boards all the way to Keynes. Taken in behind his own goal by Palmer of Los Angeles. He clears it ahead now. That's Simmer dumping it to the Detroit blue line. Reed Larson's pass will be intercepted by Dion. He backhands it off to the side of the Detroit goal. Paul Woods in after it. Woods, a quick pass coming up to Polonich. Now Dennis Polonich, he's upended inside the zone. Really dumped there by number 20, Brad Selwood. Coming back now is Taylor into the Detroit end. Over on the right side, Simmer. Simmer played it right out in front of the goal, and Korn takes it there. Ahead now to Jean Hamel. Hamel's pass coming out. Polonich given another bump. This time along the boards by Wells. Jay Wells play into the Los Angeles zone. They're stepping into one another. Selwood was knocked to the ice by Jean Hamel. And the puck driven back. Center ice zone back into the Detroit end. Rutherford will play it away from Dion. Along the boards, it's dumped, not out. Held in, getting into it, Korn again. Now Jim Korn came up with it and brings it out to center ice. Jim Korn on the move, trying to work around number 9. Billy Harris cleared it in behind the Los Angeles goal. Coming out with it, Saint Laurent. Andre Saint Laurent of Los Angeles moving to the Detroit blue line, taking a long shot. Rutherford kicks that away. They dug in for the rebound, who fired wide of the goal by Harris. Now this is Peter Mahavlich. Mahavlich, he had Lyle moving on the right side, but was knocked away from him, sent back into the Detroit zone by Jerry Korath. In behind his own net, Greg Jolly. We played just about 3 minutes of a scoreless first period. Harold Thompson, he's got Lyle coming up the right side, and Lyle just offside. So with no score, a pause in the action, and we're back in a moment.
It's Little Caesars 20th anniversary pizza to go sweepstakes. So here's your chance to go all the way to Hawaii on a vacation trip for 2. You could win a Zenith videotape recorder, a 19-inch color TV, a Sharp microwave oven. You could win a Polaroid one-step camera, plus hundreds of other prizes. Even pizza for a whole year for free. The Little Caesars 20th anniversary pizza to go sweepstakes. But you have to enter to win.
Former Red Wing Andre Saint Laurent into the face-off against Mahavlich. Saint Laurent won the draw. Puck cleared into the Detroit zone by Hallward in behind the Red Wing net. Rutherford played it into the corner. It's trapped there along the boards by Thompson and held for a face-off, which will stay in the Detroit end.
And a terrific tempo to start this game, Bruce. You can feel the tension in the building. I think the fans realize, too, that it's an important game, of course, of the Wings. And just as important probably for LA because they are fighting for a berth too.
Red Wings have had very little success with Los Angeles. The last 9 games, they have 2 ties to show for it. Haven't won one of them. Lost 7. Including both games in Detroit this year. They played a tie, their first game of the season, right here in Los Angeles. Back in the early part of October. Now Greg Jolly carrying out to center ice. His pass, Errol Thompson stopped right at the line. It's dumped back inside his own zone to Jerry Korab. Korab clearing it ahead. That's Glenn Goldup, number 21. He's dumped by Barry Long, who may have gotten away with that. Play goes in behind the Detroit goal. Cleared out on the right side. Jerry Korab's pass knocked away by Mahavlich. Now that's Errol Thompson. He starts Greg Jolly out. Jolly over the line, trying to go through. He goes chasing after it. Put it right out in front. And Lyle was there and couldn't reach it. And the puck lay right in the goal mouth. Oh, George Lyle set up nicely by Greg Jolly, but he couldn't do anything about it. And coming right back now, that's Billy Harris, former Islander, firing a long shot at Rutherford. Stops and hands off to Long. Now Barry Long ahead to Peter Mahavlich again out at center ice. Away from Dion. Over the line, Peter Mahavlich still controlling it. Here's Mahavlich putting it back now for Reed Larson. Larson winding up, picked the shot, but it was blocked. Held in at the line. That's shot by Vasco, and that went just wide. Taken off the boards now and cleared out by Bert Wilson. Over on the right side, Dion going in. He's stopped by Danny LeBratton. LeBratton heads right back. Netamansky on the right side. Netamansky's pass came back out center ice, and LeBratton has it there. Billy Hogebaum is centering the line. That pass picked off by Rob Palmer. He dropped it, but the play is offside. This broadcast is made possible by the Detroit Hockey Club, and the NHL is intended for the private use of our viewing audiences. Any other reproduction or use of the broadcast is strictly prohibited without the express written consent of the Detroit Hockey Team and the NHL. The announcers for the broadcast are employed by the Detroit Hockey Club and approved by TV50. Shot fired along the boards in behind the Detroit goal. Rutherford stops it there for Vasco. Rick Vasco clearing it on the right side. The Wings fail to work it out. That's Dion. Marcel Dion trying to cut in front. Here's Dion still with it. There's a penalty coming up. That scramble right in front of the Detroit goal. They have whistled the play down, and it looks like a Red Wing penalty.
Yes, it's going to be the Red Wings. Marcel Dion, he just kept faking as if he was going to shoot and kept moving in. Jimmy Rutherford had to make the save, but the Wings, Vasco, I believe it is, was caught.
So, with Vasco going off, we'll be back with the Los Angeles power play in a moment.
Detroit penalty, number 3.
Is the American Motors Spirit worth $5 more than Chevette?
Let's compare. Chevette would have to be a lot wider to give you the same front seat comfort as Spirit. Spirit's 21-gallon gas tank is bigger, too. Think about that this weekend. And Spirit has Z-Bart factory rust protection, plus the only full 5-year no-rust-through warranty. American Motors Spirit. It lists for $5 more than Chevette, but it's worth it.
American Motors, built for today, built to last for tomorrow.
Rick Vasco is off for holding. The time of his penalty, 4 minutes, 56 seconds. Play out in front of the Detroit goal, so now here's the puck coming back. Korab took the shot. Cleared away by Rutherford, dug out of the corner. Back along the blue line, that's Hallward with it. Off the side of the net, Charlie Simmer played it in behind the goal. Now it's Marcel Dion playing it back on the line. Korab's shot deflected by Barry Long. Ends up in the crowd, and the face-off stays to the right of the Detroit goal.
Now this is an added dimension to the Kings game when they can get Korab back out on the point. They just made a move and brought 3 players over here in the past couple of weeks. Korab coming from Buffalo, Harris from the New York Islanders,
Lewis
from the Islanders, a trade that was kind of a surprise to see Goring go, but it gives this club an awful lot of strength back at the blue line.
Now McCourt won the draw in behind his own goal. Reed Larson. Larson lifted it, but not out. It's held in. Then Barry Long picks it up, and he does work it out to center ice. Back after it, number 11 is Charlie Simmer. Simmer found his stride with Dion. Now this is Taylor. Simmer over the line is offside. And the play comes back out over the Detroit blue line with now 1:25 remaining in the Detroit penalty time.
Now this is one of the best power plays in the National League. The Kings are always one of the leaders in power play goals, and it's because of that line of Dion, Simmer, and Taylor. Taylor's been out lately. This is just his 2nd game back after having a strained right knee, and there was some talk all day today that he mightn't play.
Face off with Paul Woods and Dennis Polonic, penalty killers up front. Puck fired back into the Detroit zone, goes into the corner. That's Taylor, number 18, with it. Taylor playing it back on the point. Howard lost it. Paul Woods knocked it away. It came out center ice. Here's Polonich going after it. Dennis Polonich playing it all the way back to Barry Long at the Detroit blue line. Long now dumps it into the Los Angeles zone. Paul Woods battling after it. He was held by Howard, and the puck taken now by Simmer. We have 55 seconds left in the Detroit penalty play deep in the Los Angeles zone. Jerry Korab right out in front of his own goal to Howard over on the right side. Coming out with it, Taylor back into the Detroit zone. That's Dave Taylor with it. Taylor's checked neatly by Long, but he didn't get it out. That shot fired from the blue line, knocked away by Rutherford. Wings again, bounce it out toward the blue line, didn't get it out. Marcel Dion is called down. Now there'll be a penalty coming up to Paul Woods. And 29 seconds remains in Vasco's penalty.
Well, Paul Woods made quite a play at the blue line. He blocked the first shot by Big Korab just inside the blue line. Then he had to reach out and grab Dion, because Dion would have been away, and it's a penalty that had to be called. He pulled him down. And had there not been a penalty, Reed Larson had clear sailing, because he picked up the loose puck and just broke right out through the middle.
So Woods goes off for holding at 6 minutes and 27 seconds, and that means for 29 seconds, Los Angeles will have a two-man advantage. San Laurent in against Peter Mahavlich, and Mahavlich rolled it out to center ice. Sent back now, that's Selwood, Brad Selwood, playing it back to Rob Palmer, ahead to San Laurent. San Laurent into the Detroit zone, being checked along the boards by Peter Mahavlich, and Peter did the job, slides it back into the Los Angeles end. Now Thompson comes on to replace him. This is Selwood. 7 seconds left in the first of the two Detroit penalties. That's Palmer. He played it away, and it'll be taken by Reed Larson, and Larson clears it down the ice. And the crowd booing their team is back on now as Vasco. The Wings are down one man for a minute and a half. Now Palmer. Over on the right side, moving out with it now is Billy Harris. Harris into the Detroit zone. That's Dion. Dion was checked for the moment. Battles to hold it in. They're kicking away at it. Errol Thompson. Thompson slid it, but not out. Here's Barry Long, and he's got Dennis Polonich moving. Polonich trying to work around Selwood, and now Selwood will get a penalty as Polonich went high over him, and that'll even up the sides.
Terrific killing of penalties by the Wings. Both Thompson, Mahavlich early, then Thompson. They just bottled up this club. And here's what you call a real penalty. Selwood comes down. Dennis tries to cut inside of him, and he just pitchforked him down. And this gives the Wings the advantage now, where they're going to have a 55-second advantage when soon as the penalty to Paul Woods is up.
So Selwood goes off for tripping. 7 minutes, 22 seconds. Still no score in the game. Each team short a man. Woods due back in a minute and 5. Now this is Korab clearing it out on the right side to Mike Murphy. Murphy at his own blue line trying to work away from Dale McCourt. McCourt actually hauled him down. Back on his own line, Korab playing it back now to Howard. Doug Howard clearing it out center ice. Back into the Detroit zone, number 25, Don Howe. He's checked right there by Greg Jolly. Mike Foligno couldn't get away. Howard held it in. That's Murphy with it. He's tied up along the boards by Jim Korn. Mike Foligno has it. Now ahead to Jolly. Jolly dumps it to Dale McCourt coming out center ice. McCourt's pass broken up. McCourt back after it. The crowd booing him just as the Detroit crowd did Marcel Dion. Now that's Greg Jolly moving back into the Los Angeles zone. Failed to get by Howard. In behind his own goal, Korab. About 10 seconds left in the Detroit penalty. Then the Wings will have the extra man. Here over the line is Howard trying to go around Korn. Howard pulls up. Doug Howard playing it out in front, but knocked away by Foligno. He feeds now to Dale McCourt. Now Paul Woods is back on. Here over the line, Jim Korn. Korn took the shot, and a big save made by Keynes. Dale McCourt sets up Jolly. Jolly fired a shot and went over the top of the goal. Paul Woods holding it in. Woods after a rolling puck. Hands it back now to Jim Korn. Korn with a shot and another fine save by Keynes. And the puck sent down the ice. And a half a minute remaining in Selwood's penalty. Wings have their first big scoring chances. And Keynes held the fort. Now Nedomansky comes back in. Here's Ned with a shot. Keynes knocked it away. Nedomansky's rebound right through the goal crease. Now Korn over on the left point. Played it too far for Reed Larson. Coming back down the ice, San Laurent being chased by Larson. San Laurent played it back toward the blue line, then held it again. It goes into the corner. They jam it there. Face off to the right. of the Detroit goal. Still 9 seconds remaining in the penalty to Selwood. He went off for tripping at 7 minutes and 22 seconds.
And we've got ourselves a hockey game here tonight, up and down play. And the Wings had 3 good whacks at young Doug Keane in this first part of their power play.
Paul Woods now will go in against San Laurent to the right of Jimmy Rutherford. Here moving out now is Vasco again. Ahead to Nedomansky, back to Vasco. He holds that puck well, was sent to the ice, still played it in behind the goal. Billy Hogebaum. Hogebaum tried to put it out in front. When he did, it's grabbed off by Keynes. And the penalty's over. We have a pause in the action. No score. We'll be back in a moment.
What's the Peschke difference that makes the great American brand great? Well, for hot dogs, the Peschke difference is bursting with flavor goodness. In jumbo size and in super size for a bite of hot dog with every bite of bun. Bursting with flavor. That's the Peschke quality difference you can taste.
Peschke makes the difference that makes great American great.
Tell the folks at Great Scott you want the bursting with flavor Great American hot dogs.
10.5 minutes to play in the first period. No score. You look at the two benches, and I tell you, that Detroit bench is a little quieter tonight, Sid. That's the first time I think that I can remember that Lefty Wilson hasn't accompanied this hockey team. Lefty, with not feeling quite up to par, stayed at home.
Well, I hope he's watching the game and feeling a lot better today.
Well, I'm sure he's doing both. Now the play back out center ice. Wells took a whack at it. It came up, cleared into the Detroit zone by Goldup. Rutherford stops it for Vasco. Rich Vasco trying to work away from San Laurent. Ahead now to Billy Hogebaum. On the move is LeBratton. Nedomansky couldn't get it to him. Now Nedomansky over the line with a shot, and Keane kicked that out. And the Red Wings have been testing young Doug Keane. Right back down the ice, trying to work away from Hogebaum was Billy Harris. It comes back to Goldup. Turning back at his own blue line. Goldup drops it back for Jerry Korab, being chased by Nedomansky. Now here's Dion moving again. The pass stopped at the Detroit line by Reed Larson. He starts Danny LeBratton over the line. LeBratton tried to go through, and Korab tied him up. That puck hit Harris in the back, and then Nedomansky with a swing at it sent it up into the crowd. The Detroit Red Wings will be back into action against the Buffalo Sabres Thursday, March the 27th at 8 o'clock. And the live action will be right here on TV 50. Now, this has been a good first half of the first period.
It certainly has. And actually, the Wings have been carrying the play. It's an exciting first 11 minutes. Keane, I think, has been working the hardest of the two goaltenders by far.
Now Barry Long cleared it to Dennis Polonich. He got it over the line, but Korab broke it up there. This is Charlie Simmer. Simmer back into the Detroit zone. In the corner to Taylor. He took a shot. That deflected way wide. John Amell goes after it. He and Simmer tie one another up along the boards. It came out center ice. Back at his own blue line, Korab sweeping it out on the right side to Taylor. To Charlie Simmer, and Barry Long broke that up. Long, though, didn't get it out. Finally, taking a heavy check was Dennis Polonich. He got up, took a whack at the Los Angeles player. Now, a penalty was being called. You can see the gloves flying right down below us. Jim Court is down on top of somebody. He called a penalty, and I'm not sure, but what he may have called it against the Los Angeles player. But the Los Angeles goaltender started to move to the bench, so...
I have an idea it was on Dennis Polonich, but Polonich really got hit. He really got hit as he took a pass right inside the blue line. I thought first that it was Dion, but it couldn't have been Dion that knocked him flying. But when Dennis got up, he tagged somebody pretty good. This is what I like about the Wings. They all got into it right off the bat to keep things going.
So I think there may be penalties coming up to a couple of them. We'll be back to find that out after we pause now for this message.
This tire is Ward's best-selling radial, and like any other radial tire, it will give you increased tire mileage and better gas mileage than non-radials in the light of day. But when the skies open, you'll know why this tire is called the Rain Grappler. Built tough with 2 Aramid belts and an aggressive tread that flushes water away for road gripping traction. Right now, save $80 to $132 on sets of 4. The Rain Grappler from your automotive center, Montgomery Ward.
Barry Long knocks the puck back, and he tries to shoot it out. He doesn't get enough wood on it. Dennis Polonich comes down along the boards, and he really got hit by Hallward. And as Dennis gets up now, he jumps into someone here, right back into Hallward, flattened him. There goes the arm up for a penalty. Jim Korn got involved in it, and Jim Korn wound up going to the penalty box also.
So the Red Wings take the brunt of the penalty call because they have two men, Dennis Polonich and Jim Korn off. Polonich for high sticking, Korn for roughing, and Doug Hallward of Los Angeles goes in with a roughing call. So Los Angeles will play one man short, and the Red Wings will play now two men short. Paul Woods out really arguing with the referee over there, and the referee going back to the timer's bench about something.
You know what I don't understand about this? He didn't put his arm up to call a penalty until Polonich got up off the ice, yet he gave Hallward a penalty. If that was the case, then why didn't someone else get a penalty for being involved with Korn? Because Korn goes to the penalty box.
Yeah, Korn and Hallward must have been roughing each other. That's about all I can figure at any rate. Paul Woods is the only Detroit forward on the line right now. Here's Dion carrying back into the Detroit zone. Dion drops it back on the line. Selwood in behind the Detroit net to Charlie Simmer. Simmer turns with it. Now Simmer playing it back on the line to Selwood. Selwood over on the right side. That's Taylor driving a shot, and he scores.
Well, nobody was going to stop that shot. 4 against 3. They just moved it into Taylor. And Taylor really unloaded high into the right-hand side of the net through a screen.
You can't give these people just one forward against you.
He just moves into the circle and really lets fly a high shot right up right-hand corner under the crossbar. Reed Larson had Dion covered in front of the net, and I'm sure that Jimmy Rutherford didn't see any of that puck at all.
Still the Red Wings.
Assist to number 20, Brad Selwood. Number 11, Charlie Simmer.
Simmer and Selwood draw the assists on the goal scored by Taylor. It'll be a power play goal while the Red Wings were 2 men short and Los Angeles won. So now the Wings still have a man in the penalty box, and so too Los Angeles. So the teams will be at full strength or not at full strength, each at equal strength, each team short a man. The goal coming at 11 minutes and 28 seconds. And for Mr. Taylor, his 35th of the season. A lot of goals by that one line. 49 for Simmer.
51 for
Dion, and now 35 for Taylor, who's played only part-time.
127 goals.
Now Jim Korn carries over the line. Korn trying to work around Saint Laurent into the corner. He's checked right there. Mahovlich digs it out behind the goal. Here's Korn with it. Korn played it to Errol Thompson. He was all tied up, though. Korn had a man wide open, Reed Larson, at the right point, but didn't find him. Now Larson back at his own blue line. Gives it to Korn again. Korn lost it. Taken away. Back now it comes to Dave Lewis. Lewis took the shot. Rutherford stops that. Plays it back to Reed Larson. Larson off the boards to Korn. Here's Jim Korn coming out. Each team short a man for 55 seconds as Mahovlich carries in. Peter Mahovlich. He's hit along the boards by Lewis. Saint Laurent cleared it to the line. It comes out center ice, and Vasco has it there. Now Reed Larson. Larson's pass deflected into the Los Angeles zone on a delayed offside. It's played by Palmer. And Lewis will bring it out, so there'll be no whistle. Dave Lewis just shot it all the way down into the Detroit end. We have 7 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the first period. 1-0 for Los Angeles. Here now, Peter Mahovlich. Mahovlich coming out center ice. Check right there. Los Angeles player Taylor was knocked down. Vasco cleared it into the Kings zone. That's Korab with it. Off the skate of Errol Thompson. Digging back is Selwood. Dale McCourt chasing him. Selwood played it out on the left wing for Dave Taylor. It slid back out center ice. Barry Long shot it over the left side. After it is Vasco. Now Vasco dumping it into the corner. Digging in after it, Foligno, and coming out of the net, Keynes played it away from him. Cleared out center ice for Dion. Penalized players are back on. Both teams are at full strength. Dennis Polonich. Now Polonich down the left side. Here's Polonich heading over the line, and Selwood has him all tied up. Korab takes it into the corner. Dale McCourt and he hold it there. Face off will stay in the Los Angeles end, and we'll be back with it in just a moment.
My American Eagle can go just about anywhere under the sun. Anywhere. Come on. Eagle's automatic four-wheel drive gives me the confidence to take the family to the beach the hard way. Eagle even hauls my boat out of this. I wouldn't try that in an ordinary compact. Eagle's four-wheel drive automatically directs power for the traction to get out where there's nothing but woods, and occasionally another Eagle.
The Eagle has landed on all fours at American Motors.
Well, the old bugaboo of penalties has hurt the Red Wings so far. They trail at 1-0. Face-off will stay to the right side of Doug Keens in the Los Angeles goal. Dale McCord, he's got Ogrodnik back in shooting position. He goes in against Don House. House won the draw. Korab turning in behind his own goal. Jerry Korab laid to Buffalo. Clearing it out center ice, knocked down there by Vasco. He was tied up right in the center ice zone by Murphy. Over the line is Howes. Ogrodnik bumped him in along the boards, and Vasco came back after the loose puck. Clears it now to Barry Long. Long's pass skipped by. Dale McCourt comes back out center ice. And it's cleared away from Murphy. Played back into the Detroit zone. Barry Long sends it ahead to John Ogrodnik. Here's Ogrodnik. He worked away from Howes over the line into the Los Angeles zone. Ogrodnik took a weak backhander. Keene stopped that easily. Came back to the line. Barry Long couldn't hold it. And it slides all the way back into the Detroit end. A little less than 6 minutes to go in the first period. Korn moving in behind Rutherford. Checked in behind the goal. He hands it off to Long. Now Korn again. Korn being bothered by Murphy. It comes out to Long. Barry Long out on the left side to Ogrodnik. Here's John Ogrodnik moving again. Foligno charging in after that puck, but it went off the boards, came right out to Jensen. Jensen sent it to the Detroit line, and it's taken there by Korn. Now Jim Korn clearing it off the boards on the right side. Reed Larson at center ice again to Ogrodnik. Ogrodnik, Hogebaum ahead of him. The pass went behind Hogebaum. Now Lewis cleared it ahead to Marcel Dion. They took it to the Detroit blue line. Slides all the way to Rutherford. He hands it to Nedomansky. Nedomansky, a long pass coming up to Danny LeBratton on the right side. Now Billy Hogebaum, the two of them over the line. And LeBratton went in too quickly. It's offside. Peshke, Great American Hot Dogs have the quality difference you can taste. And this week, these bursting with flavor hot dogs are being specially featured at all A&P supermarkets. Ask for them tomorrow.
I have to correct my addition on the goals that line of Dion, Simmer, and Taylor have. Dion is 51, Simmer 49, and Taylor scored his 35th. It's 135 goals, not 120.
Here's Nedomansky working in with a shot, and Keens knocked that away. And the puck fired all the way back down the ice. It'll not go far enough for an icing. And the Wings have had scoring chances. Keens has stopped them. Puck sent out toward the line, then held in. Then out in front of the goal, but Reed Larson breaks it up and starts back. Larson handing it off now to Danny LeBratton. Back to Nedomansky with a shot, and it's blocked. Here now, Nedomansky taking it again. He sets up Hogebaum. Billy Hogebaum, he shot it wide. Reed Larson trying to hold it in. He does in along the boards, but the puck came loose to Dion. And Marcel Dion turns. Comes back out center ice. Don't tell me we're going to run into another red-hot goaltender. That way into the Detroit end offside.
Bruce, you mentioned at the start of the game that he had played, this was his third or fourth game. He has played 7 games. He's won 2, lost 2, tied 2. This is his 7th game, I believe.
I'm sorry. He's played the last 3 games, right. What I meant to say, and he hasn't won any of those 3. Glad you're here.
He's a veteran now.
Yep. Face-off will be just over the Detroit blue line. Peter Mahavlich has Lyle on the right wing. Errol Thompson on the left side. San Laurent won the draw. This is Korab with it. Jerry Korab sweeping it back into his own end. Jolly hands it now to Barry Long. Long dumps it Hallward at center ice. Over on the left side now, Goldup carrying back into the Detroit zone. Goldup fired the shot, but stopped there by Rutherford. He holds on to it. That'll keep the face off to the right of the Detroit net. Jimmy Rutherford started the game against Winnipeg the other night. Couldn't be blamed really for the first couple of goals. Wings just gave it away right in their own end, right in front of him. But then got tossed out for being the third man in the fight, which
is very strange.
Yeah, he gave the Winnipeg player a little shove when the man and Dennis Polonich were battling in the goal crease. George Lyle's pass didn't get through to Thompson. Now that's Korab, number 5, turning at his own blue line. Jerry Korab feeding it to Hallward again. Hallward dumping it deep into the Detroit zone. They waved off the icing, so Jolly will play it. Greg Jolly. Pass coming up to Peter Mahovlich over on the left wing for Thompson. Now Errol Thompson goes after it himself. Thompson sends Peter Mahovlich into the Los Angeles zone. Peter took it in along the boards, dropped it back for Jolly. Now Errol Thompson going after it, but he was covered and coming right back down the ice. Harris played it off to Goldup, sent it in behind the Detroit goal. It goes into the corner. Mahovlich takes it off the board, scoops it out to center ice. Selwood has it there. Little more than 3 minutes to play in the first period. 1-0 Los Angeles. Goldup bouncing it into the Detroit end, going in after it Jolly. 3 minutes exactly to play in the period. Jolly out on the left side to Errol Thompson, and now to Barry Long. Long from center ice, a long shot. That's grabbed off by Keene. Played in behind his own goal. In after it, number 24, Jay Wells. Wells didn't get it out, and Larson whistled that one, and Keene's got in front of it. And Selwood takes it in behind his own net again. Now Selwood directing traffic. Playing it out on the right side, and coming out with it is Taylor. Taylor being bothered by Paul Woods, slowed up by Woods, but taking it away Dion. Marcel Dion worked away from Jim Korn, put it out in front. Zimmer fired a shot wide. Now Korn in behind the goal. They battle there for it, digging after it. Along the boards, knocked to the ice was Taylor. Dion got into it. Dennis Polonich tried to work it away from him. He's holding it to the boards, kicking away at it. Finally kicked it, and it's dug away by Zimmer. Zimmer sent it off to the side of the net. Came right out in front, but the Wings will move it out. Here now is Jean Hamel. Three of the Wings ahead now to Paul Woods. He's stopped right at the line by Selwood. Korn hands it off to Larson. Now Woods took it over the line. Paul Woods hemmed in along the boards, moving with it as Wells, right out in front of his own goal. Dion, though, covers up and starts Taylor out. 1:45 to play. Dave Taylor dumping it deep into the Detroit end, and Larson will go back after it. Now Reed Larson starts out. Here's Larson bringing it out to center ice. Larson wound up for a long shot, shot it wide. Rebound off the boards, but covering up Rob Palmer. He cleared it to Mike Murphy off his skate. It comes out now. And at center ice, Korn takes it again. Pass came out on the right side for Dale McCord. He's all covered up by Lewis. Cleared back into the Detroit end, giving chase to it. Number 25, Howes, fired it right through the goal crease. Now Palmer out on the right side, playing it in behind the Detroit goal. Howes takes it in the corner. It skips into the opposite corner for Steve Jensen. Jensen turns with it. Taken off the puck by Ogrodnik. Murphy bumping there with Korn. A minute to go in the first period. Wings play it out on the right side, and it does come out now to center ice. Lewis shoots it right back in. And now Los Angeles leading by a goal, sharing the pressure in the Detroit end. Dale McCord tips it along the boards for Ogrodnik, and Ogrodnik didn't get it out. Palmer stopped it at the line. Taken away by Dale McCord out on the left side to Foligno. Mike Foligno over the line on the wrong wing, battling to control it. It came to the blue line, was held in there. Slides in behind the Los Angeles goal. Lewis dumps it into the corner now for Palmer. Palmer's pass knocked down by Ogrodnik. John Ogrodnik trying to hold it in. Palmer in behind his own goal. Played it into the corner to Lewis. Now Dave Lewis sends it out center ice. Howes moves with it. 12 seconds in the period. Over on the right side to Murphy. Murphy's shot was blocked. He played it in behind the Detroit goal. Foligno goes into the corner after it. It came loose to Jensen. 3 seconds in the period. They're down in behind the goal, and the buzzer will go to end the first period of play from here at the Forum in Los Angeles. Well, Marcel Dion is going to be our guest between the first and second periods, or Sid's guest. And here's the first period scoring summary brought to you by Magnavox and Fredder Appliance Stores. Red Wings had 4 minor penalties and Los Angeles 2 in the first period. And it's while Polonich and Korn of Detroit, Howard of Los Angeles were out, sitting in the penalty box in that first period, that Taylor scored from Selwood and Zimmer at 11 minutes and 28 seconds. And that was the only goal of the period, while the Red Wings are 2 men short and Los Angeles 1. So that's it, the end of the first period of play. The score: Los Angeles Kings 1, the Detroit Red Wings nothing.
Saturday night, the Lakers will meet Adrian Dantley and the Utah Jazz Sunday night at 7 p.m. So get your tickets tonight.
What's the Peschke difference that makes the Great American brand great? Well, take those Great American brand lunch meats, carefully prepared by the chefs at Peschke, to give you that fresh, meaty, delicious delicatessen flavor. And that's the quality difference. Deli fresh, Great American brand lunch meats from Peschke.
Peschke makes the difference that makes Great American
Surprise your family with deli fresh Great American lunch meats from Great Scott Supermarkets.
I own this place. But tonight, no more work. Tonight is celebration because tomorrow I go back to Greece. You know how? Because my friends at Bank of the Commonwealth, they helped me to start this place when other banks do not. Now I go back to Greece and my cousins, they think I am big shot. I am not big shot, but at Bank of the Commonwealth, they treat me like a big shot.
Big shot.
Trying hardest to help. That's the Bank of the Commonwealth.
Can I offer you a Coke, sir?
No.
7-Up, some coffee?
No.
Something a little stronger.
No. I'd rather Werner's.
No matter what else you got, don't get caught with your burners down.
Wherever you're going, it's nice to know Werner's is there. Nothing can replace Werner's mysteriously refreshing taste. Absolutely nothing.
Don't get caught with your Werner's down.
Hi, I'm Jan Piet of the United States Army Reserve.
And I'm Wendy Gates, United States Army Guidance Counselor.
We're here to tell you about today's employment opportunities for men and women in the United States Army.
And we've got hundreds of skill categories for you to choose from.
And listen to this, we'll take you without any previous experience.
To see if you qualify for the U.S. Army, call any Army recruiter today.
He's in the yellow pages, or call 964-3628.
Guest is Marcel Dionne, a former Red Wing and now the leading scorer in the National League. And congratulations, Marcel, for a terrific season so far.
Things have been going pretty well for me this year as far as the scoring race is concerned. Lafleur and Gretzky are right behind me, and you know, if I look back at my situation too, I think I lost Taylor and Simmer, and things were going extremely well until they got hurt. But like you said, I'm very pleased, and right now we're in a situation where we have to make the playoffs, and we have some life, and things are very interesting for us right now.
You know, how do lines get formed, Marcel? Charlie Simmer come up late last season, and here he has 49 goals, within one of being the second player in LA's history to score 50. You being the other, of course. You already have 51. I was looking today, you have 134 goals. It just seems impossible to me as a former National Leaguer that people could score goals like that.
That's right. It's amazing. Well, you were part of a great line before, and you know, sometimes you don't know how things happen, and I think we were put together without not knowing if things were going to click right off the bat, you know, and it did. So Charlie has become just a great asset for us, and even Taylor, because if you look at our record, without those two guys, we haven't done so well. And they can say all they want that I make those two guys go. It's untrue. I do my things, and they do their things, and that's what makes our line go. We like to control the puck. We like to hang on to it. They both do things very well, so I hope that we're going to be as much consistent as we've been the last couple of years and go into the playoffs this time and really help this team.
You know, you've played over one obstacle, and it's just terrific. Every time you skate out of the ice back in Detroit, the crowd get on you, give you a few little cat calls and boos, but you have averaged just about 2 points a game for all the games you've played against the Wings. Do you feel that gives you just a little more lift when you play Detroit?
Well, at first it was very difficult the first couple of years because in that situation I was involved there, but not really, because if you look on my record, I've scored pretty well against everybody in this league, the top teams. But it seems against Detroit, I don't know, I like this red sweater for certain reason. It's not because I have anything against those guys. It's just that I feel more at ease, and they play a little bit of my style. They like to play wide open, and I've been very fortunate against them.
Marcel, let's just talk about the league here for a moment now. Detroit, yourselves, Pittsburgh, Vancouver, there's so many clubs, Hartford, we're locked up. Now Detroit has slipped back a little bit. Do you feel, with only 8 games to play, that your club is definitely going to be in the playoffs?
Oh yes, there's no doubt. As you know, last week we have acquired 3 new players. They're the type of players we needed to go in the last stretch of the season. We were not going anywhere without those guys, and now we have Korab and Lewis on defense, so that's give us muscle and they can move the puck. We're basically the same as the other teams, you know, because you look at Hartford just having a great season. But I think if we have an edge, I think it's going to be on self-discipline. I think the last 4 or 5 games, even if we only tied 2 games, our team has played better than the last 2 months, and we have more confidence. And I think the last 8 games are going to show us what we can do in the playoffs, and definitely I think we're going to be in it.
You know, they always talk about West Coast teams, the travel, and this weather out here. Just beautiful weather. You have to discipline yourselves for the weather and all the travel.
Oh, you're right. I keep on stressing on that even the newcomers, a lot of times they ask me how come I'm so successful, but I have to give up a lot that you might do other places, like going down the beach and play golf and tennis. It's so easy to do that, you know. And the new guys coming in now, they just can't believe it. And you have to discipline yourself. If you don't, forget it. You can't last here. You cannot produce. You can't play as well as you do on the East Coast because, as you know, the trips are tough. But if you take advantage of it, it's very interesting for your family, your friends, because they come down and see you now. But I really enjoy it, and it's a different world here. I'll tell you, you talk about all hockey you want, but it's very tough sometimes.
Well, it's got to be tough, the weather like this. Marcel, they always say a team will go as far as their goaltender can carry them. Well, your line pretty well carries this hockey club. It's not saying that you're a one-line team because Murphy and fellows like that chip in too. But goaltending has always been a little bit of a suspect as far as I'm concerned with L.A. Now, here you're playing a kid by the name of Keynes. Now, we don't know anything too much about him. He's only played a few games. Is he a pretty good-looking kid, too?
Yes, he's played 7 games. You know what happens, I said, is when things are not going well, you have to try to do things. And they called him up, and our 2 goalies, Graham and Lessard, had their problems this year. So has everybody else. Outside of me and Simmer and Taylor doing well offensively, our goaltending has been having problems. And when they call him up, you know, sometimes you call up a kid and then he's going to come up with a hot game, you know, and that's what he did. He's a stand-up goalie, doesn't show too much emotion, you know, and he's played well, covers the ankles very well. Matter of fact, the last game we played in Detroit, the 42 game, I think the Wings should have won the game because they outplayed us really bad, and he came up with the big saves, you know. I don't think he's seen all the shots that night, but he made the big saves, and now he's got more confidence. And like you said, if you don't have goaltending, you're in trouble. And Dougie Keynes right now has given us some life. He's making the big saves, and our defensemen are make sure they don't give rebounds and things like that. So if he keeps on playing like that, we might have some great goaltending in the playoffs.
Mars, a big hockey game right tonight. 2 clubs. Detroit is just about a must game for Detroit. Does your club, like in your noon meeting, do anything special when you meet a team like Detroit? Or would it be any different, say, if you were meeting Montreal? Do you get up against a club like Detroit as much as, say, a Philadelphia or Montreal?
Well, you're right, because tonight's a must game. They're right behind us, and so is Minnesota, and not Minnesota, Pittsburgh and Hartford. So it's a must game. When you play Montreal and Philadelphia, then there's always a chance, well, we might play a good game and lose. Well, tonight we'll have to play a good game and win, because if we don't, then we find ourselves in a position now that we might fail maybe 15th and 16th in the league, and then you have to meet Philly or those top teams, and then it's not too good. But we've talked about it at our meeting, and you're gonna see us forechecking very well tonight and coming out of our gate flying.
Marcel, thanks ever so much. May the best team win.
Thank you.
Okay, and now let's go back to Bruce Martin.
Okay, Sydney, we thank you and Marcel Dionne for being our guest between periods, and for being our guest. Magnavox, manufacturers of the finest in electronics and cabinet styling, takes pride in presenting Marcel with a certificate for a 12-inch black and white Magnavox television set. The score here after 1 period of play, the Detroit Red Wings 0, the Los Angeles Kings 1. Sid and I'll be back with you in just a moment.
This bud's for all you guys who keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down. This bud's for you.
This bud's for you.
For all the roads you ride and every place they take you to.
For all you do.
The king of beers is coming through. Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This bud's for you.
An energy message from Amoco.
Nobody likes waiting in line, and it's worse in the unemployment line. Among the many reasons people don't have jobs is America's dependence on foreign oil. The money sent overseas for foreign oil has cost Americans thousands of jobs in a wide range of industries. Amoco wants to do its part to help change this by searching for more American oil. The money spent for American oil stays in America, helping create jobs for Americans. America runs better on American oil.
They say I'm rough, they say I'm mean, but that's the toughest Steeler I've ever seen.
Now that Steeler's even tougher to beat. During Uniroyal's $50 Steeler rebate blitz, buy 4 quality Steelers and get $50 back. See your Uniroyal dealer while the blitz is on.
To get to our 3rd straight Super Bowl.
I'll just surround myself with 4 tough Steelers.
Uniroyal's $50 Steeler Rebate Blitz.
Until April 6, 1980. See your Uniroyal dealer for details.
You can feel us coming now, a fresh look on the scene, with a whole new style of living, light and crisp and clean. That's why now we say the age of 7-Up is here, because we love that crisp, refreshing taste, so light and crystal clear. Move it up, look it up, look it up! America is turning 7-Up, reaching up, feel it up, America is turning 7-Up.
And we're with you once more from here at what Jack Kent Cooke used to call the Fabulous Forum in Inglewood, California, just outside of Los Angeles. Sid Abel, Bruce Martin. Sid, the first period, the Red Wings had 8 shots, the Los Angeles Kings 10. I think the Wings actually had perhaps more and better scoring opportunities. It was a good period.
It was a terrific period of hockey. I thought the Wings had worked the plays in, were passing real well, had real good scoring chances. George Lyle early in the game had a chance, but he couldn't turn around and find the puck in the open goal crease. The goal that they scored, though, was a classic, and it was a goal that L.A. scores. So if the Wings continue to play this way, Bruce, I would hope that they'll come out all right. This is a must game for both teams.
Let's take a look at some of that action in the first period. It was the fight, actually, and a heavy body check here that led to the first goal of the hockey game.
Well, Dennis Polonich tried to reach a loose pass coming out that Barry Long had thrown up, and he got hit, I think it was by Howard. And as he got up, he knocked Howard down. Jim Korn got into it. There's Howard and Polonich going at it. And first thing you know, I thought that there would be 2 penalties aside, but it winds up that Detroit got 2 penalties. Polonich and Korn both got the penalties, and just Howard. And while they had the man advantage, that's when Taylor scored his goal. So this is a team you have to be very careful against taking penalties, Bruce, because they have one of the best power plays in the National League, with Big Cora back now on the point and Dion and those fellows up front.
The reason they have one of the best power plays in the league, I think, is Marcel Dion, and you can work it out of that point on. And it was Dion that really started the play that ended up in the goal, though he didn't get an assist on it. A goal on the power play. The Red Wings had only 3 men on the ice, Los Angeles 4.
Well, Selwood threw the puck, and this is Taylor coming in, and just from the top of the circle, and you can see the puck went in just under the top crossbar on the right-hand side. Jimmy Rutherford had no chance at all on it because Dion had pulled up just at the edge of the goal crease. Larson was covering him, and I'm sure Jimmy, just back in behind those 2 fellows, didn't even realize that Taylor had shot the puck, and Taylor scored his 35th goal of the year, and it was the 135th goal that line has scored.
That's hard to believe, isn't it?
That's more goals than usually a line has shots in it in a year.
Well, I mentioned 3 men and 4. I was talking, of course, without goaltenders. The Wings 2 men short, and Los Angeles won when the goal was scored. Sid, the Red Wings tonight are playing without the services of Willie Huber. In the Winnipeg game 2 nights ago, Willie picked up a game misconduct for, I guess, not going to the penalty box or something. And it was his 3rd of the season, and that's an automatic suspension of 1 game. Willie's in Los Angeles and will be set to go against Vancouver next Friday night when the Wings are there. The Wings also were afraid they might lose Mike Foligno, because he came off the bench and was given a double minor penalty and a game misconduct in that same fracas. But the videotapes taken by the Red Wings clearly showed that the referee was the man that should have been penalized. He was wrong, and it was a Winnipeg man that first came off the bench, so Mike's suspension did not come about. The league knocked that one away. So with the 2 teams getting ready to come back and get the second period underway, we'll be back with that face-off in just a moment.
This Bud's for every man who works with fire and steel.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do, this Bud's for you.
It's Little Caesars 20th anniversary pizza to go sweepstakes. So here's your chance to go all the way to Hawaii on a vacation trip for 2. You could win a Zenith videotape recorder, a 19-inch color TV, a sharp microwave oven. You could win a Polaroid one-step camera, plus hundreds of other prizes. Even pizza for a whole year for free. The Little Caesars 20th anniversary pizza to go sweepstakes. But you have to enter to win.
Mr. Green?
Yeah.
You need any help?
Mm-mm.
Want my Coke?
No.
Really, you can have it.
Okay. Thanks.
That's the way it should be. I like to see.
See you around.
The whole world smiling with me. Coca-Cola as life. Have a Coke and a
Wow, thanks, Mean Joe.
You are watching Red Wing hockey on TV 50. In the first period of this game, the Detroit Red Wings with 8 shots, and the Los Angeles Kings return 10 in the direction of Jimmy Rutherford. And Doug Keens in the Los Angeles goal did himself I'd say a pretty fair job, Sidney.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's a stand-up goaltender, and he seems to play his angles very good. The Wings did move in several times, had excellent scoring opportunities. He is a cool kid by all means. I don't know just how young he is, but he knows where his angles are. He knows where the net is. He doesn't seem to get off balance and doesn't seem to get frustrated at any time. The big thing I think the Wings have to do, Bruce, they have to stay on the ice. They can't take penalties against this hockey club, but at the same time, they've got to give their defense a chance to stand up and keep whacking at them as much as they can. Don't take any foolish penalties. If you're going to go to the penalty box, try and take somebody with you. Don't leave yourself short-handed. And I'm not saying that Dennis Polonich and Korn took a bad penalty on that little fracas that started. It's just a case that it started right along the boards. There was a couple of heavy hits. Howard come running in, and it's surprising. I watched the referee's arm go up, and I knew that Polonich was going to get a penalty, and I was kind of surprised that Jim Korn also received one on the same play, because he was mixed up with someone else other than the two that originally had hit one another. And it was a bad breaking away for the Wings to wind up with 2 men on the penalty box, and LA only one, because it was a well-played period of hockey.
Well, the Red Wings, as we mentioned, are one of the 5 teams right now that find themselves toward the bottom of the National Hockey League list, and the last 5 teams will not make the playoffs. They have 1 game in hand to the Vancouver Canucks, and they trail them by just 1 point. They have 1 game in hand to the Washington Capitals. They trail them by 2. Washington is not scheduled to play tonight. Vancouver is at home to the Buffalo Sabres. We have 3 final scores. Hartford continues to play fine hockey. The Montreal Canadiens went into Hartford tonight. They played a 5-5 tie. Winnipeg Jets, who beat the Red Wings 6-2 last time out at the Joe Louis Arena, went into Maple Leaf Gardens tonight. It was a little different story, as the Leafs just clobbered them 9-1. And Quebec were beaten tonight by Chicago Blackhawks. The score there was 5-2. You look now at Doug Keens in the Los Angeles goal, playing, as Sid mentioned, his 8th game in the National Hockey League, and he was strong in that first period.
I was going to mention, Bruce, that loss by Quebec tonight hurts them, because Quebec have actually the game in hand, or the couple games in hand on most clubs that are ahead of them, and playing at home, they've got to win some hockey games, or they're going to be on the outside looking in. And the Wings are going to have to win on the road, because they haven't been able to take advantage of their home games, and they only have 4 left. They're going to have to win a game or 2 on the road and hopefully beat Quebec and Colorado, 2 of their 4 home games at home, or Quebec and Edmonton, I should say. They've got to jump on those teams, or the Wings are going to be outside looking in.
Sid, you mentioned if the Red Wings played, let's say, the last game at the Joe Louis Arena, as they did the first period here tonight, they would have won a hockey game, not lost it.
If they'd have played any of the games practically on the Joe Louis Arena the way they played this first period tonight, they wouldn't be sitting back 17th team on the totem pole right now. They would be probably up at 12th or 13th and not be worried about getting in the playoffs. They played a very spirited first period. They skated well, passed the puck well. There was heavy bumping, and they carried the play, I thought, more than LA did.
The delay here to start the second period created by a hole, evidently, down around the Los Angeles net. The 2 linesmen were down there making the repairs, and Ryan Bozak, one of them, sticks the rest of the cord in his pocket. And Brian Lewis, the referee, will get the second period underway. The Wings trail 1-0. Dennis Polonich is at center ice with Paul Woods on one wing and John Hamel on the other. Puck intercepted. Here's a shot by Dion, and he fired it wide. That's Charlie Simmer, number 11. He's knocked away by Hamel. Came right back to Howard with a shot. Doug Howard whistled that one, and Rutherford knocked it away. Now the puck off the skate of Hamel went back to the Los Angeles blue line. Howard hands it there. It's intercepted, then tipped into the Detroit zone, and Rutherford comes way out of the goal to shoot it back out center ice. Taken there by Long. He hands it back to Paul Woods. Woods drops it for Vasco. Now Vasco off the skate of Jean Hamal. Jean clips it into the Los Angeles zone. Jerry Korab takes a bump along the boards from Hamal. That puck still in the Los Angeles end. It's cleared out now to center ice, and back after it is Woods. Paul Woods at his own blue line. Here's Woods looking for Vasco. Rick Vasco back into the Los Angeles zone. His pass broken up. Number 3, Doug Howard, taking it in behind his own goal. We've played 1 minute of the second period. It is 1-0 Los Angeles. Now coming out with it, Korab. Big Jerry Korab winds up from center ice. The shot is right on, and Rutherford clears it now to Barry Long. Wings breaking 3 men out. Down the right side is Hamel. Long, though, it turned around, and the play comes back into the Detroit end as Jim Korn hustles back after it. Now Korn flipped it not out, held in at the line by Lewis. Lewis put it right out in front. And that's knocked away by Dennis Polonich. Dennis Polonich moves in behind Rutherford. Now Polonich's pass just out at center ice. Rob Palmer of Los Angeles has it there. Clears it ahead to Murphy. Mike Murphy, the Los Angeles captain, back into the Detroit end, but the play goes in offside.
There was a case where they're playing Polonich head-on with Dion, and we'll take note of that the next time those two lines come out. Dennis is not paying that much attention to the puck. Wherever Dion goes, you'll find Polonich just circles and picks him up and tries to keep him from, just take away the effectiveness of Dion, to keep him off the puck altogether. But they couldn't make their line change, and Polonich and them were on the ice for practically the 2 minutes, and Dion's line was only on for 1 minute and 20 seconds.
The Red Wing line of McCourt, Foligno, Ogrodnik now. That's Reed Larson giving chase. Jensen knocked it away. It comes into the corner with Ogrodnik going in after it. In behind his own goal is Korn. He lost it. And Murphy out in front fanned on it, and he was open. They go into the corner and along the boards. Jim Korn, Murphy bumped it away from him. They hold it to the boards, and the whistle stops the play. Face off to the left of the Detroit goal. We have a pause in the action. 1-0 Los Angeles leads. We're back in a moment.
Why does only American Motors have a full 5-year no-rust-through warranty?
Because in 1980, AMC adds Z-Bart factory rust protection here. As the cars are being built, this includes asphalt sealants, galvanized steel, and zinc-rich primers, all at no extra cost. The Z-Bart factory rust protection program. It lets American Motors offer the only full 5-year no-rust-through warranty.
Built to last. From American Motors.
Fresh out of college hockey, Jim Korn in a Red Wing uniform. Face off deep in the Detroit zone. They kick away at it. McCourt lifted it ahead. Ogrodnik sent it in behind his own goal, and Korn has it there. Up on the right side, Mike Foligno. Now Foligno turns. Hands it back to Reed Larson. Center ice, the pass broken up. That's Lewis clearing it back into the Detroit end, and back after it again, Jim Korn. Played it behind Reed Larson. Now Reed dumped it down. They rather hit the referee and stayed in. Lewis clearing it in behind the Detroit goal. Rutherford out of the net, stops it there. Larson on the left wing for Ogrodnik. Now John Ogrodnik just laid it along the ice. It went back into the Detroit end with Murphy way offside. And we'll come back out over the Detroit line for the faceoff.
And LA have come out this period in the first 3 minutes, or just under 3 minutes, have been carrying the play to the Wings. The Wings have not got down over the blue line to do much to find out what Mr. Keene's going to do about it.
Peter Mahavlich now with Lyle and Thompson, Barry Long and Greg Jolly. Andre Saint Laurent, he's got Billy Harris on one wing, Glenn Goldup on the other for Los Angeles. Selwood back along the defense. He's paired there with Jay Wells. Peter Mahavlich in against Saint Laurent. Saint Laurent won the draw again. Cleared off to the side of the Detroit net. After a bouncing puck is Barry Long right out in front of the goal, and Mahavlich covered up. As Long almost made a disastrous mistake. In behind the Detroit net again, Barry Long. Swinging it out on the right side. Lyle has trouble with it there. That's Goldup holding it in. Lyle was knocked down. Mahavlich got it out to center ice. Glenn Goldup back after it. Now Goldup firing it back into the Detroit zone. Going after it, Errol Thompson. Thompson, a pass out on the right side. Lyle has it. Now George Lyle. That's Saint Laurent's helmet bouncing around. That's Errol Thompson. He went around Goldup, took the shot, and it went right through the goal mouth. Held in there by Peter Mahavlich. Here's Mahavlich. He stopped in along the boards. Puck slid back out center ice. Billy Harris over on the left side. A drop pass. Saint Laurent to Harris. And he came on the left side, but the puck really off his stick. Never got the shot away. Peter Mahovlich back now. He stripped. Dumped at center ice. And the play went into the Los Angeles end offside.
I was just looking up the stats on St. Laurent. He was a goal scorer back big goal scorer a couple years ago. Was traded by the Red Wings here to LA. He's only scored 6 goals this year, but the fact that Dion line scores so many, that the scoring after the Dion line and then say Murphy, they're all down 12, 14 goals.
Well, Jimmy Rutherford was tested again here. That's Glenn Goldup dropping it off in Saint Laurent. The shot really was wide of the net. Kings didn't control it. Here now is Paul Woods digging in. Here's Woods trying to cut in front, took the shot, and Keynes held his ground and stopped that. Coming right back to Kings. Jerry Korab. Here's Korab moving into the Detroit zone. Vasco went around Vasco into the corner. Dumped it out in front. Fanning on the shot, and a bouncing puck was Dion. Dion put it out in front again. It's still bouncing around. And covering up Reed Larson. Now Larson cleared it on the left side. It came out center ice, and Korab of Los Angeles has it there. We've played 4.5 minutes. Vasco knocked the puck away, and Reed Larson rolled it over the line. That's as far as that went. Dave Taylor has it. Taylor handing it back now to Doug Hallward. Hallward cleared it ahead. This is Taylor. Now Taylor moves into the Detroit zone. Taylor was checked right there. It came loose. Kept in by Rob Palmer with a shot. They score! Taylor right out in front of the goal. Deflected it by 2-0 Los Angeles.
Well, it was a good play by LA. A little drop pass just inside the blue line, and I was watching Planich and Dion. Planich had Dion covered, but there was no way you could cover everybody out there. It was just a play back into the blue line and a shot from the blue line that's deflected right out in front of the net. Perfect deflection by Taylor.
Number 18,
Here's a player that's been out of the lineup just his second game back because of a knee injury, and here he scored the first 2 goals in this very, very important hockey game.
Zimmer and Palmer draw the assists on the 36th goal of the year, scored by Taylor. He has scored both of them. This one comes at 4 minutes and 45 seconds. It is now 2-0. That's Saint Laurent in behind the Detroit goal. Being checked in along the boards by Korn. The puck dug away, though. Los Angeles has it. Turning with it, playing it in behind his own net with Bert Wilson, knocked away. Nedomansky sent it out on the left side. Jim Korn turns with it. Trying to work away from Wilson. Saint Laurent took it, put it right out in front. And the save made by Rutherford as the Wings lost it right out in front of the Detroit goal. With a pause in the action, 2-0 Los Angeles. We're back in a moment.
This Bud's for everybody who helps keep our country on the move.
This Bud's for you. You're working hard all day just like you always do.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Terrific pressure put on here by LA. Jim Korn just give the puck away, and it comes right back out in front, and Andre St. Laurent had Jimmy down on his hands and knees, but couldn't put it in. And a big save by Rutherford to keep this score at 2-0.
Bruce Martin along with Sid Abel, our producer Marvin Muse, and here at the Forum in Los Angeles, that's Jensen, number 22. Pretty well tied up by Jim Korn. Mike Foligno drops it back to Long, very long, sends it back to Korn. Now Dale McCord to Grotnik. It came back. Mike Foligno with a shot, and Keynes got in front of that and knocked it away. Played back to Mike Murphy, and Murphy drives it down back into the Detroit zone, and coming back after it, Foligno. Mike Foligno handing it back to Barry Long, who bangs it out to center ice. Knocked away by Foligno. Here's Dale McCord. He's fired the shot, and reaching up, Keynes grabbed that. He almost misjudged it. They go in along the boards, deep in the Los Angeles zone. A chance now for Barry Long, and his shot was blocked. Coming back after it, Jim Korn, being chased by Jensen. Now Korn in behind Rutherford. Here's Korn starting down the right side. He was dumped. Picking it up, Mike Foligno. Foligno back over the line. Foligno into the circle, knocked away. He gets it back to Long at the right point. He took the shot. That deflected up into the glass off the stick of Ogrodny.
And that's just the type of play the Wings are going to have to do, Bruce. They've got to move into LA zone, move their defensemen inside the points, They've been concentrating too much on defensive hockey and trying to pick up checks and come back with them. Detroit's got to try and put some pressure on LA and see if they can get back in this hockey game.
Red Wings, of course, are very interested in the game being played at Vancouver tonight between the Canucks and the Buffalo Sabres. Vancouver leads Detroit by 1 point, and that's 0-0, end of the first period.
What a game we're going to have there on Friday.
Yep, that's going to be a biggie. But they're all important right now, including this one, which finds Los Angeles leading 2-0. Kings have outshot the Red Wings 15-11 at this stage of the game. Lyle failed to hold it in. Moving it out now, Simmer, sending it out to Marcel Dion. Dion clearing it off the boards in behind the Detroit goal. Rutherford stopped it there. Errol Thompson had trouble with it. Greg Jolly got a stick on it, and they hold it. Still no whistle. It came loose. That's Taylor sending it back now to Selwood. Selwood with a shot. Fired it wide. Now George Lyle. Lyle of the Red Wings ahead to Reed Larson over the line. Larson trying to go through, turns with it. Larson played it off the boards. Errol Thompson digs after it. Thompson's pass didn't get through, though, and Simmer has it. Charlie Simmer of Los Angeles, a three-man rush for Los Angeles. Here's Taylor. Taylor took the shot. Rutherford grabbed it off to the side of the goal and hands it off to Jolly. Greg Jolly back down the ice. His pass broken up, and now Dion moves in. Here's Dion. Marcel Dion heads off the boards, put it out in front, but it's taken away by Peter Mahavlich. Mahavlich tied up by Billy Harris, coming out with it again, Mahavlich. Now Peter comes out center ice. Mahavlich back over the Los Angeles line, dropped it for Lyle. It came back to Jolly. Greg Jolly trying to work in, dumped it right out in front, and the puck was knocked away as the Red Wings had a glorious scoring chance. Right back, Reed Larson. Nedomansky tips it to Billy Hogabaum, and now LeBratton. With Korab in front of him, LeBratton a backhand shot, and that's knocked away by Keane. Now the Red Wings applying some pressure. Puck held in, and Nedomansky drilled a shot, and Keane's got a piece of that. Fired along the boards, and Goldup sent it not out. Did bounce off Nedomansky to center ice, and his pass broken up over on the left side. Saint Laurent. Saint Laurent in front. The save made by Rutherford, but he couldn't find the rebound. But Hogabaum leads right back down the ice. Here's Nedomansky. He took the shot. That was blocked by Korab. Sent along the boards and all the way back into the Detroit end. Well, Detroit now starting to get their scoring chances. In behind his own goal, Barry Long. Here now, Nedomansky. The dangerous pass, he got away with it. Danny LeBratton back over the line. He's hauled to the ice, and there'll be a penalty now coming up to Los Angeles. The Wings trailing by 2 will have the extra man. We'll be back with the Detroit power play in a moment.
If there's one thing you can depend on, it's that your favorite glasses will break one way or another. Which means one way or another, you wind up with a collection of unfavorite glasses. Now you can replace your glass menagerie, because now you can get beautiful French lead crystal at Bank of the Commonwealth with every deposit of $50 or more in any savings account. So come to the Bank of the Commonwealth today and add a touch of glass.
The speed of Danny LeBratton right down the middle and trying to break in between the two defensemen, and he does a terrific job, but Howard puts the big hook on him. He just about got free, and if Howard hadn't have fell right there and pulled him down, he probably could have been in the clear.
Howard goes off for hooking. 8 minutes, 47 seconds, the time of the penalty. That's him in the box. The Red Wings power play has Dale McCourt, Foligno, and Ogrodnik up front, and Vasco's on the left point with Larson on the right point. That's Larson with a shot, and he scores! It went into the net off Keane.
Right through his pads. And that's the way that Larson can fire that puck.
I had to wait up on it because the puck was just a rolling and a sliding.
It really just went over the line, but nobody come out to challenge Larson. McCourt won the face-off and comes back right at the edge of the circle. They let Larson take the shot. Watch the puck just drop there and roll over. And surprising for a young goaltender, Keane was a good 10 or 12 feet out of his net to cover the angle. He got most of it, but it went right through his pads, bounced in behind him, and went into the net. And this puts the Wings back in.
Larson's 20th goal on the season. Dale McCourt, who won the face-off, will draw the assist.
That ties an all-time defenseman record with, I think, Flash Hollett years ago. Reed Larson scoring 20 goals as a defenseman for a Red Wing.
So the goal at 8 minutes, 52 seconds, and the Wings right back into it, trail by 1. Now the play back into the Detroit end, in after it, Jim Korn. Played it now, in behind his own net again. This is Larson, up on the left side. Ogrodnik's pass didn't come out, but he picks it up himself. Here's John Ogrodnik from center ice with a shot that goes wide. Now they're tricking off the boards. It's Foligno holding it in. Into the corner, Doug Hellward again. Hit his own man with it, Don Howes. Right out in front of his own goal. Howes trying to work away from Dale McCourt. McCourt kicked it away from him, but it came loose to Palmer, and rather Korab, and Korab sends it to Murphy. He drives it off to the side of the Detroit net. Larson goes in behind his own goal. He's checked right there by Jensen. That puck is loose. Murphy took it away, and Korn moved in to cover up for Detroit. Now Jim Korn. Here's Korn, checked at center ice, but McCourt takes it back into the zone. Dale McCourt. McCourt with a shot, and it went over the top of the goal. Keynes was actually ducking on it. They play it in along the board, still deep in the Los Angeles zone. Now it does come out center ice, and McCourt has it there. Takes the long shot. Keynes kicks that away. Laid in behind the net by Korab. Now Jerry Korab's pass knocked on by McCourt, brought back out by Reed Larson. Larson took a bouncing shot. Keynes handles that. And the Wings now are applying most of the pace.
Paishki makes the difference that makes Great American great.
Tell the folks at Great Scott you want the bursting with flavor Great American hot dogs.
This machine has the power. It's Montgomery Ward's gear drive tiller with Husky 5-horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine and power reverse. It's $50 off, now just $339. Or step up to rear tine tilling. Power-driven wheels, 24-position handle to till from the side, and 5-horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine. Save $80, now just $649. Gear drive or rear tine, get the power, and save on both at Ward's.
I own this place. But tonight, no more work. Tonight is celebration, because tomorrow I go back to Greece. You know how? Because my friends at Bank of the Commonwealth, they helped me to start this place when other banks do not. Now I go back to Greece, and my cousins, they think I am big shot. I am not big shot, but at Bank of the Commonwealth, they treat me like a big shot.
Big shot.
Trying hardest to help. That's the Bank of the Commonwealth.
Well, in the second period, with the Red Wings outshooting the Los Angeles Kings at total shots on goal, Detroit 22 and the Los Angeles Kings 19. Out of town, interesting hockey game, Sid. New York Rangers beaten by Edmonton tonight with Ashby, McDonald, Price, and Hunter scoring. We don't have the assists, but I would think that Gretzky might have a couple along the way.
Yes, and Gretzky is chasing Dion for the scoring leadership, this 19-year-old sensation for Edmonton. I think he was 10 points behind Dion going into this game, and Dion hasn't picked up a point as of yet, although his teammates have 4 points. Simmer has 2 assists, and of course Taylor has the 2 goals.
You are watching Red Wing hockey on TV 50. Down below us, a fellow watching the game, we can't get a camera on him, I don't believe, was Butch Goring, who played so long, so well, so hard for this club. Recently traded away to the...
You know, it must hurt when you get traded from one coast to the other like that. Traded from here to the New York Islanders after playing here for so many years. I don't know if you give the score. Minnesota defeated Boston tonight 7-4.
Well, the third period now is underway. That's Marcel Dion, number 16, rolling it into the Detroit zone. Jim Korn played it to the line, and Wood slapped it back out center ice. Doug Hellward. Hellward's pass broken up by Jean Hamel. Hamel scooping it back into the Los Angeles end, back after it Korab. Being chased by Dennis Polonich. Puck knocked down at the line by Paul Woods and driven right back into the Los Angeles end. The Wings lead it 3-2. Along the boards, Charlie Simmer knocked away by Hamel. Then into the corner now, Dennis Polonich checking there with Howard, and the Wings carrying the play to Los Angeles with their big line on the ice right now. Ford checking well into the Los Angeles end. Korab goes in behind his own goal. Clears it out to Simmer, and now they'll move out. Here on the right side is Taylor. Taylor with both of the Los Angeles goals. Trying Jim Korn, hauled him down, and he'll get a penalty, and a bad one.
Bad penalty here. This is one thing you don't want to do. Jim Korn had broken his hockey stick, too. He just wrapped his arms around Taylor on an innocent play going deep in the corner. You've got to stay on the ice right now in a 3-2 hockey game. He wanted to try and get the stick in between Taylor's legs to put him off balance, but he missed. Then he just had to grab him with his arms and throw him down.
So a big penalty now to Jim Korn. He goes off for holding at the 52-second mark. And Los Angeles, with a powerful power play, move everybody up. They've got Korab and Hallward back at the points on the line of Simmer, Taylor, and Dion up front. Dion won the draw. That's Hallward with a shot. Knockdown came right out front. They score. Charlie Simmer gets his 50th. And a 3-3 tie.
And that just took a matter of a second or two. Face-off right back out to the point. You can't believe how this face-off goes back out to the point, and the shot is high, misses the net, and it comes off the boards just perfect to Charlie Simmer, and he was standing there, and Reed Larson, as he turned around to make a play on him, he had the entire net to put it in. And one thing the Wings didn't want is to have a goal scored this early in a period.
So the game tied at 3-3 as Charlie Simmer has his 50th goal.
He's only the second player in LA history to do this. Dion has done it a couple times, but now Charlie Simmer joins a 50-goal season, which is just unbelievable.
Howard and Taylor draw the assists at 57 seconds of the period. Now the play into the Los Angeles zone, a centering pass, and Foligno all tied up in front, couldn't get to it. Lewis had him. Now back into the Detroit zone, Rick Vasco. Vasco fed it too far for Foligno. They waved off, well, one waved off the icing, the other called it. And now they're going to whistle the icing, and the play comes back into the Detroit end. Game tied 3-3. We're back in a moment.
My American Eagle can go just about anywhere under the sun. Anywhere. Come on.
Eagle's automatic four-wheel drive gives me the confidence to take the family to the beach the hard way. Eagle even hauls my boat out of this. I wouldn't try that in an ordinary compact. Eagle's four-wheel drive automatically directs power for the traction to get out where there's nothing but woods, and occasionally another Eagle.
The Eagle has landed on all fours at American Motors.
Kings have 2 power play goals. The Red Wings 1. The game is tied at 3-3. Don Howes, number 25, goes in against Dale McCourt. The circle off to the left of the Detroit goal. Howes won the draw, and Murphy with that weak shot, and Rutherford grabbed it off and then handed it away. Reed Larson lost it. Then Larson himself covered up. Comes out center ice. Here's Larson. McCourt and he over the line. He dumped the pass in. It was knocked down by Lewis. Lewis clears it ahead for Jensen. At center ice, Larson takes it. Plays it now to Vasco. And Ogrodnik slides it in behind the Los Angeles goal. Rob Palmer goes in after it. He's tied up there by Dale McCourt. That'll keep the play in the Los Angeles end.
I might mention, too, Bruce, Rick Vasco has not hurt this hockey club in any way tonight. He has played a very strong game for the Wings. Just coming up from the American Hockey League.
He can fire that puck, too.
And he's a very strong puck carrier. He might be a little more offensive-minded than the Wing management or coaching staff would like, but he's played strong.
Face off in the circle to the right of Keynes. Doug Keynes in the goal for Los Angeles. Peter Mahavlich in against San Laurent. Mahavlich, Lyle, and Thompson up front. Puck stayed right there in the circle. Here now is Lyle with it. Took the shot, and Keynes grabbed that. And that again with a shot on quite an angle. Now Goldup took it off the boards, being checked there by Lyle. That's San Laurent sending it out center ice. Back after it very long. Now to Greg Jolly. Jolly's pass. Mahavlich took it over the line. He stopped right there and coming back with it now. Moving into the Detroit zone, Selwood. Selwood hands it off to Goldup with a shot. And that went wide. And that's back down the ice and back after it. Number 24, Jay Wells. His pass broken up by George Lyle, but came back out center ice, and Thompson is back after it. Dropping it back now for Barry Long. He hands it to Jolly. It comes now to Peter Mahavlich ahead to Thompson. Thompson sends Lyle over the line with a shot. And the save made, and then Lyle hit the side of the net with a rebound. Harold Thompson went in after it. They're holding the puck to the boards, and the face-off stays to the right of the Los Angeles goal.
And that was a pretty passing play from Thompson to Lyle and back to Lyle again. worked right in at a crisscross. They nearly run into one another just as they were coming to the blue line. A little back pass here by Thompson, perfectly for Lyle, and Lyle went in and took a shot right along the ice. Keane made the save, and then he got another whack at it, and Keane had to be sharp on the second one.
Sid, I think we should point out the fact that I bet we have, and I'm not exaggerating, 50, 60 names of people who wanted us to mention the fact and say hello to the folks back home, and if we try one, no way we can get them all. So maybe we should best say that there are a lot of folks here. That's Marcel Dion just missing the pass. Dion goes in after it, put it out in front. It came back to the line. Hellwood took a chop at it, but now has to chase it back at his own blue line. Play broken up by Reed Larson. Larson was checked by Dion, took it away again, played it into the Los Angeles zone. Korab goes in. It'll be held in now by Billy Hogabaum. Bounced away from him and bringing it out is Simmer ahead to Dion. That's Taylor. He's bumped at the line, but Simmer picks it up, fired it way wide. It'll come back to Korab at the blue line. He fired a shot, and that deflected off to the side. Going in after it, Taylor. Now Dave Taylor played it back to the line. Howard took the shot, knocked away by Rutherford. And Reed Larson brings it out with a pass to Billy Hogabaum ahead to Nedemansky. He shot it over on the left side, but it was broken up right there by Taylor. Cleared ahead to Steve Jensen. It bounced away from him. Hogabaum takes it again. Billy Hogabaum's pass didn't get through, but here's LeBratton picking it up, and it bounced away from him. Now coming back, Rob Palmer. Palmer, it's cleared over the line, but Palmer went in ahead of Howes, and that's offside. And with the score tied at 3-3, we'll be back in a moment.
This Bud's for everybody who helps keep our country on the move.
This Bud's for you. You're working hard all day just like you always do.
This Bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
Yeah, just for you, that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
One youngster we want to say hello to is Tim Liddy back in the Oakwood Hospital back in the Detroit area. Pete Mahovlich and Mike Foligno and the boys have been up to see him, and we certainly wish everything for Timmy and get him back and watching the Red Wings in action. He's a Red Wing fan.
Now here's Barry Long. His pass deflected off the Los Angeles player into the King zone, so there's no icing, and Palmer plays it back now to Lewis. Dave Lewis in behind the Los Angeles goal, cleared it on the left side to Palmer. Now Rob Palmer's pass too far out in front of Jensen. That'll go all the way back to Rutherford. He played it off the boards. Barry Long got to it and lifted it out to center ice. Palmer giving it back to Lewis now. Lewis shooting it back to the Detroit blue line. Barry Long knocked it away from Jensen. Hands it back to Vasco and back now to Long. Here's Barry Long scooping it along the boards in behind the Los Angeles goal. He stopped it there, played it out on the right wing. It'll be stopped by Vasco with a shot right on. And a good save by Keynes as Vasco lifted that one out in a hurry. They take it to the boards, hold it there. That'll keep the face off the rim of the circle to the right of the Los Angeles net. And I'll tell you, that puck was not on that stick for a split second.
And that's the way you have to shoot that puck. He shot it right along the ice. Instead of up catchable for a goaltender, he made Keane make a terrific move. It went through a screen. And he didn't waste a second, Bruce, as you mentioned.
Face-off stays in the Los Angeles zone. Here's that shot by Rick Vasco. He's on an emergency call-up, actually, because of the back injury to Hicks. Puck came back on the line, handed to Larson. He dumped it out of the side of the goal. It goes into the corner. Mahovlich going in after it. He and Saint Laurent. They jam it in along the boards again. It came loose. And finally it's whistled down, and we'll have the face-off still in the Los Angeles end. And that's where the Wings want it. Detroit and the Vancouver Canucks coming up Friday night. That will be on WJR Radio 10:55. Saturday night from Colorado at 9:25. And then the Edmonton Oilers will be at Detroit's Olympia Detroit's Joe Louis Arena a week from tonight. The following night, our next telecast. That shot fired by Lyle, knocked away by Keynes. In behind his own goal, Billy Harris moving out. He was turned around by Peter Mahovlich, picks it up again. Now here over the line, Harris, and he's knocked down or off stride at any rate by Larson. Hallward has it. Now Hallward handing it back to Brad Selwood. George Lyle intercepts his pass. Three of the Wings move up. Lyle over the line. Down the left side, went around San Laurent, put it right to center, and it's knocked away. San Laurent takes it. Peter Mahovlich bothering him, so Brad Selwood moves in to help out. His pass broken up by Reed Larson. Now the Kings move out with San Laurent over the line. The shot blocked by Greg Jolly. Polonich starts George Lyle back down the ice. Here's Lyle from the blue line with a shot that sailed way wide. Wings changing on the move now as Harris moves out center ice again. We're past the 6-minute mark of the third period. This is Dave Lewis moving into the Detroit zone with a shot over the top of the goal. Polonich takes it off the boards. Dennis Polonich ahead now to Paul Woods. Woods sent it into the Los Angeles zone. John Hamel and Simmer go after it. Charlie Simmer plays it back of his own net for his defenseman Lewis. Back to Taylor on the right side. Paul Woods ran into him. That puck still knocked along the boards. Woods got it loose. There's a broken stick down there in the way, and Woods knocked down. Still trying to play the puck. Kicking away at it. Woods takes it to the corner a second time, doing quite a job. Goes in behind the goal. Palmer ties him up there, and finally Woods gets what he wanted, the face-off in the Los Angeles end. And we'll be back with that face-off in a moment.
How does the Bank of the Commonwealth help me?
Face-off in the circle off to the right side of the Los Angeles goal. Dennis Polonich in against Dion. Puck went off to the side. Polonich went in after it. Gave Taylor a bump. Paul Woods scooped it in behind the net. He was grabbed there by Korab, and Dion banged it out to center ice. John Hamel tied up Simmer there. Simmer and Hamel had each other tied up, and now Polonich cleared it back into the Los Angeles zone. Goes into the corner after it. Dennis Polonich in behind the goal. Brought it out in front with a shot that went right through the crease. Very long trying to hold it in, but his pass knocked away by Simmer. Polonich came back to stop that. Bumped into Dion. Now Hamel and Simmer bump one another. Polonich came up with a puck. Jim Korn slid it into the Los Angeles zone. Dion went down, or rather Taylor it was. Coming back now, Rob Palmer. Palmer rolling it in behind the Detroit net. Rutherford let it go. And Jim Korn was sent to the ice by two of the Kings, and the Wings start out with Polonich bringing it back out center ice. Polonich played it into the Los Angeles zone, going after it Hallward. 7 minutes 45 seconds have been played here in the third period. The Kings have scored to tie it at 3-3. Nedomansky ahead now to Korn. Korn to Billy Hogabaum. Over the line, the puck left there. LeBratton just failed to reach the pass by Nedomansky. It's knocked away out in front by Doug Hallward. He starts back. He's got down Howes over the line into the Detroit zone. Howes was knocked down. It's picked up by Hallward. He slid it off to the side of the goal. That's Howes going after it, trying to bring it out in front. Played it back on the line. Korab giving it now to Howard. Howard's shot deflected wide of the goal. In behind the net, the Kings, Murphy. Murphy knocked down by Long. Very Long picks it up and shot it down the ice. And it will not go far enough for an icing call as Howard comes back after it. Kings had the pressure on. Play back out center ice. Mike Foligno has it. Now Foligno clearing it back into the Los Angeles end. Jerry Korab, number 5 of the Kings, handing it off to Hallward. He bounced it out center ice. Picking it up there is Howes. Hit the long shot wide of the Detroit goal. Vasco off the boards. His pass too far for Ogrodnik. This is going to roll the length of the ice. So there will be an icing call, and the play is stopped. The Detroit Red Wings move back into action against the New York Rangers Monday, March the 31st at 8:30. And the live action right here on TV 50.
I was just going to mention, Bruce, win, lose, or draw this hockey game, the Wings came to play hockey tonight. They've gone to the well all night long, and we've seen a terrific game. Had they played like this anywhere along the line, they wouldn't be worried about getting to the playoffs. This has been a terrific team effort.
Red Wings with Dale McCourt, Foligno, and Ogrodnik now in the big line of Simmer, Taylor, and Dion. Jim Korn started out, and again the referee says no, won't allow the defensive change, so Vasco stays out with Reed Larson. Play in the Detroit end, the circle off to the left of Jimmy Rutherford. In behind his own goal, Vasco. Up on the right side, Mike Foligno cleared it ahead. Dale McCourt going after it. Palmer gets there first. Now Rob Palmer handing it back to Taylor. Here's Dave Taylor on the move. Back to Palmer. Dion ahead of him. The pass skipped away from him. Larson wheeled it in behind the goal. John Ogrodnik with it. Now Ogrodnik being tied up along the boards by Taylor. It's taken by Dale McCourt with Mike Foligno coming out. Larson trailing as Foligno goes over the line, hands it to Larson with a shot. Oh, and Keene reached up and grabbed that right off the crossbar.
There's the save of the game for Keene. A terrific glove save on a puck that's going right up under the crossbar. And a good play by Foligno just after he crossed the line. He just laid a little pass across to Larson. Larson coming in late. Has got good scoring range. And let me tell you, he really rifled it. Mr. Keene come up big.
Red Wings with 27 shots and Los Angeles 21 at this stage. That would give Los Angeles 2, one of which has been a goal. And the Red Wings 5. All of which have been stopped by Keene. The game remains at 3-3. McCourt, Foligno, Ogrodnik. Dale McCourt trying to get in behind the goal. His stick was held and coming out Murphy. Mike Murphy and John Ogrodnik moved in with him along the boards. Ogrodnik got it loose. Here's Korn with it. Jim Korn to Foligno. Mike Foligno over the line. He was turned around, got the shot away while he's falling down, and it was a good shot and a big save. Now McCourt in the corner. Dale McCourt coming out in front, and his pass didn't get through. Now it does. Larson's shot deflected away. Knocked down by Howard. Doug Howard lost it right there, but Browns picks it up. Howes skating it back down the ice now. Back into the Detroit zone. Here's Howes trying to work through. He's hauled down, and here's another penalty to Korn. Oh, and those are going to hurt. And while Korn goes off, a pause in the action, and we'll be back in a moment.
Now here's a case where Jim Korn should use a stick more. He tries to get the stick to stop the play from going around the outside, and watch him grab with his left arm and grab up high and pull the shoulder back. Winds up getting another penalty, and as we've mentioned before, this LA club has one of the strongest power plays in the National League.
And the reason why out there right now, Dion, Simmer. Here's Peter Mahavlich picking up the puck, carrying into the Los Angeles zone, then shooting it back to Reed Larson. Off to Barry Long. Long clearing it all the way in behind his own goal, and Larson has to hurry back after it. Larson fired it along the boards, but it stopped at the line by Korab, and a bouncing shot right on. Larson tries again, and this time it came out center ice. Back after it, Simmer. Paul Woods. He was hooked a bit as Dion is back into the Detroit zone. Clearing it in behind the goal to Simmer. It bounced into the back of the net, held there. Face-off stays in the Detroit end. 38 seconds of the penalty time has gone by.
One place you do not want to have the puck in a power play is back in your own zone. The Wings made a couple real good plays by playing it from deep in LA's zone all the way back to their own blue line, but then Barry Long threw it back in around behind the net, and because of that, the Wings did get in a little bit of trouble, but escaped on a play that came up along the boards.
Face-off stays to the left side of Jimmy Rutherford. The game tied 3-3 and a minute 22 remaining in the Detroit penalty. Now that's Simmer. Charlie Simmer skated it all the way back to the blue line, going into the corner, Reed Larson and Dion. They hold it to the boards there, kicking away at it. It came loose, Dion to Simmer. Now Charlie Simmer playing it back toward the corner again, and Dion has it. Marcel Dion turning with it in the corner. Ever dangerous out in front though, and Larson intercepts. And Reed Larson slides it the length of the ice. Turning with it now Korab. 55 seconds left in the penalty. Korab cleared it back all the way into the Detroit zone. It's picked up there by Dennis Polonich, who again clears it the length of the ice. Howard has it. Now Doug Howard's pass taken by Harris. Harris turning away from Polonich's check, gives it now to Korab. Jerry Korab ahead to Saint Laurent. Andre Saint Laurent back into the Detroit zone. Dumped it into the corner. Goes in after it. Saint Laurent with it. In behind the goal, that's Goldup. Glenn Goldup goes to the corner. Chased there by Barry Long. Long knocked it away from him, but it's kept in by Howard. Billy Harris. Now Harris in behind the Detroit goal. In the corner to Saint Laurent, and Long picks it up and bounces it to the line. Dennis Polonich has Errol Thompson on the move, and the pass was too far in front of him. 5 seconds left in Korn's penalty. Now Korab in behind his own goal. Korn is back on. The Wings are at full strength. Here's Saint Laurent. A left side pass to Goldup. Saint Laurent tried to cut in. It's broken up by Larson. And Larson has it. Here's Reed Larson. He lost it, goes back after it. Larson hemmed in along the boards, finally belted it out to the Los Angeles blue line. 3-3 tie, 7:20 to play. Puck bouncing to the Detroit line. Vasco cleared it ahead to Hogabaum. His pass didn't get through. Dave Lewis. Lewis ahead to Mike Murphy. Murphy scooping it back into the Detroit end. Back after it, Greg Jolly. Jolly, number 24 of the Wings. He didn't get it out. Finally, he just gloved it out to center ice when it's played by Netamansky. The play stopped. We'll come back in the Detroit end for the face-off after we pause for this message. Bruce Martin, along with Sid Abel, our producer-director Marvin Muse. I'm here at the Forum in Los Angeles, where the score is tied at 3-3. Danny LeBratton firing the puck down the ice. They'll call an icing unless Billy Hogabaum gets there first. He didn't, and Dave Lewis touched it. The icing call will bring the play back into the Detroit end.
I don't know about what Billy Hogabaum thought, that he did touch the puck first. Good effort by him.
Made a good race for it.
Danny LeBratton didn't mean to shoot it that far, and Hogabaum raced in for it, and boy, I would think that his stick had to be down there on it just as soon as the player from the Kings.
Dion again out there with that line of Taylor and Simmer, and they've been on the ice a long time here in the third period. Peter Mahavlich comes out to face Dion in the circle off to the left of the Detroit goal. Dion, though, won the draw. That's Rob Palmer. Palmer with a shot. The save made by Jimmy Rutherford. It's out in front. Long knocked it down. Ahead now to Hogabaum. Billy Hogabaum and LeBratton, the two of them over the line. And they whistle it down offside with LeBratton over the line. If he was over too quickly, not by much.
This is a spine-spindling game, or whatever you say, Bruce.
How about spine-tingling?
Yeah, tingling. I'm getting that.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's
My
tied.
wife will fall out of the chair with me saying that.
Bobby Crom with that colorful jacket in behind the Detroit bench. His team has played well for him tonight. They have outshot Los Angeles 27-22 at this stage of the game. They came from a 2-0 deficit to go ahead 3-2. Los Angeles scored 2 power play goals. Hogabaum let that shot go, and the save made by Keynes. The Wings have had 2 penalties here in the third period. Los Angeles none. Los Angeles scored the tying goal on a power play. Now the Kings have the play in their own zone as Brad Selwood brings it out to center ice, knocked away by Larson. Danny LeBratton put it right on the stick of Saint Laurent. It comes back now to Billy Harris. Harris turned around by LeBratton. Now Saint Laurent dumped it into the Detroit zone. Rutherford stops it for Reed Larson. Larson's pass came to the line. Howard kept it in. It's loose and front. And coming back after it, LeBratton just beat Goldup. There's Goldup going after it. Rutherford without a goaltender stick. With the play deep in the Detroit end, the Wings trying to hold it to the boards, and they do. A good break for Detroit because Rutherford had lost his stick.
It just seems that they get players out in front of that net for some reason or other, and they come awful close to picking up a goal. Reed Larson put this puck too high off the glass. It couldn't be handled along the boards. Come right out to the point man. The shot went right back in. There's the player out in front of the net. But he got a good hook, by the way, by one of the Detroit defensemen.
So the face-off stays to the right of the Detroit goal. Little less than 6 minutes to play in the third period of a 3-3 tie. Dale McCourt won the draw. Larson dumped it out on the left side for John Ogrodnik. Ogrodnik, a rink-wide pass. Mike Foligno picks it up, moves into the Los Angeles zone, trying to work around Hellward. The two of them go to the corner. McCourt got into it. He dumped it right to the goal mouth, and the goaltender Keynes grabbed it there. He holds on to it. The play stays in the Los Angeles end. 5 minutes, 37 seconds to play. Our next telecast a week from tomorrow night, when we'll be with you from Buffalo, the game between the Sabres and the Red Wings. Look at Doug Keynes playing his 8th game in a Los Angeles uniform. Dale McCourt in against Howes. Howes wins the draw this time. Lewis takes it in behind his own goal. Now cleared it ahead on the left side. Don Howes coming out center ice with it over on the left wing, and Foligno dumped his man. Oh, and the Wings got away with that. Mike Foligno actually hauled Jensen down. The play still deep in the Detroit end. Here's Howes with it. Now Don Howes played it off the side of the goal. Murphy sent it back to Howes, and his pass just missed. Here now is Palmer. He let the shot go. It's blocked by Ogrodnik. Dale McCourt moving after it. If he can get there, he does. He's over the line. Here's McCourt, and he played it way out in front of Mike Foligno. It goes into the corner, played back toward the line, and comes out center ice. Back after it, Errol Thompson. Now he gives it to Jim Korn. Korn back in. Korn trying to work around Palmer. Goes into the corner, pulls up there with it. Jim Korn still controlling it. Korn was hauled around a little bit. But the play stayed in the Los Angeles zone, and a delayed offside. They bring it back out. Here's Dion. Marcel Dion's shot was blocked by Barry Long. Errol Thompson turns with it. Now Thompson checked, actually ran into the referee. Zimmer takes it. Played it over on the near side. It's lifted to the line. Howard with a shot, and it's knocked away out in front. Dale McCourt has it. McCourt didn't get it out. Howard held it in. Dion has it. Marcel Dion moving out in front, was turned around. He still got it. It came back now to Howard at the blue line. Now Zimmer played it along the boards. It's taken away and into the corner. Barry Long knocked right off the puck. But coming out with it now is George Lyle. Lyle bringing it out to center ice, turning with it, trying to turn away from the check of Taylor. Lyle pulled away from Taylor. He's got Mahovlich with him. Went into the Los Angeles zone. Sent it in toward the corner, but Howard will bring it back out. Now Doug Howard ahead to Saint Laurent. Andre Saint Laurent with a shot, and Rutherford stopped that. They go into the corner. Saint Laurent, Mahovlich, and Jolly, and now here picking it up, Billy Harris. Harris brought it right out in front. Put it right through the goal mouth. And Rutherford just managed to hold it out. It's still a scrambling play in the Detroit zone. A centering pass. They score!
Just terrific pressure put on by LA, and they finally made it pay off. Saint Laurent, everybody touched the puck, and they finally put it in the net. I believe maybe Billy Harris is going to get credit for the goal. I'm not positive, but
it was Howes maybe right up in front of it.
It just kept everywhere around the net. It was everywhere but in. And the Wings couldn't get possession of it.
In 33rd point, the number 9, Billy Harris.
Billy Harris did get the goal from around behind the net. It come right back out, and he just got a little backhander and put it in. And what a goal for LA to score at this time, 16-37.
So Billy Harris gets his 16th goal of the year, and more importantly, Los Angeles a 4-3 lead. Then 3 minutes and 15 seconds remain to be played in the game, and the Wings need one in a hurry now. They did it their last time here when Mahovlich scored in the last seconds. Here's Danny LeBratton trying to work around Palmer. He just overskated the puck. Taylor takes the bump there from Nedemansky. Nedemansky has the puck. Big Ned took the backhander, and Keens made the save with Hogebaum charging in for a rebound. A pause in the action. We'll be back in a moment. Face off in the circle to the right of Doug Keens in the Los Angeles goal. Billy Hogebaum in against Andre Saint Laurent. Hogebaum won the draw, but moving in and taking the puck was Billy Harris, and he slid it all the way down the ice. Rutherford played it. That negated any icing call. Now Vasco ahead to Hogebaum. He had trouble with it. There's Goldup with a shot. This save made. Now Harris with it. Harris trying to center it, and Rutherford way out of the goal, covered up.
The Wings just a little bit careless there to play deep in their own zone, trying to clear it out. It's a case where Jimmy Rutherford, though, made a real good play to come out and take all the angle away from the Los Angeles player. He stopped this puck high off his body, and it bounced out. Just watch how far a goaltender can come out of his net to keep the angle off. There's no doubt he had nothing to shoot at from the deep in the corner.
Red Wings have outshot Los Angeles 29-26 at this stage of the game, but the Kings have outscored the Red Wings 4-3. Jim Korn in behind his own goal. 2.5 minutes to play. Third period. Now Reed Larson. Larson played it ahead to Ogrodnik. John Ogrodnik's pass stopped at the line, and with McCourt way in ahead of the play, trying to get back, Larson carried in offside.
Well, the Wings are going to have to throw the puck in. If LA want to line up at the blue line, they're going to have to throw it in and move everybody in, get their defensemen back inside the points, and hope that they can get a screen shot.
Dale McCourt will go in against Don Howes. Just over the Los Angeles blue line. The Wings trailed 2-0, came back to take a 3-2 lead. But the Kings have scored twice here in the third period and lead it now 4-3 with time running out. Reed Larson. Now Larson sends it ahead to Ogrodnik. John Ogrodnik shooting it into the corner in the Los Angeles end. It bounced off to the side of the goal. Mike Foligno put it right off to the side of the net again. And Keynes went low and blocked that, and so the Wings have their face-off in the Los Angeles end.
And Mr. Keene just about made a mistake on this play. A puck bounced off the corner. Keene comes out of his net to play on it. Mike Foligno tries to go in, and the puck bounces right back off the boards, or off Foligno probably, and comes right back out towards the front of the net. And Keene had to be very sharp to grab it from being out wide open with an empty net.
2 minutes and 6 seconds remain in the hockey game. You look at Reed Larson. He's got his 20th goal of the season. That was the first Detroit goal, came on a power play. Dale McCord in against Saint Laurent. They'll make it against Dion. Dion, Taylor, and Simmer, the forward line of Los Angeles now. Puck stayed right there in a circle. A backhand shot fired by Ogrodnik, and the save made by Keene. Fired along the boards. Vasco held it in at the blue line. Got up and picks it up. Hands it now to Ogrodnik. Here's Ogrodnik again with a shot, and Keene stopped that right out in front. Foligno with a shot. He's knocked it away. Foligno, another shot knocked down in front. And the Kings clear it down the ice. And there'll be an icing call as Vasco is back after it. Play comes right back into the Los Angeles end, and Mr. Keynes has played solid goal.
Everywhere but in this case, they just whacked around that net. Mike Foligno just determined that he was going to get another shot on net following the play up. And Ogrodnik had a chance. A good play first by Vasco to hold it in at the blue line. They really got a few good pokes right here. Foligno has to fight it out of his skates and went back to Ogrodnik. He took the shot. Keene made the save. Bounced right to Foligno, and he come around the net and tried to put it in. And he stayed after it. This one hit a goal, hit the defenseman and bounced away, and that's terrific pressure.
So the face-off stays a circle off to the left of the Los Angeles goal with 1 minute and 39 seconds to play in the game. McCord and Dion again, and now a late change from the Los Angeles bench. Howes comes out. Murphy and Jensen, which is a defense move on the part of Bob.
Dale McCord is questioning this move. They were ready to face off, and yet he stopped Detroit from making moves. The home team is supposed to get the opportunity to put their lineup on the ice.
So the play to the left of the Los Angeles goal. Wings won the draw. That quick shot by Larson, and it was juggled a bit, but knocked away by Keynes. And now here's a long pass. Larson has it right at the line. Ahead now to Mike Foligno. Foligno slid the shot along the ice. Keynes played it into the corner. Wings charging all around. Murphy, though, takes it. Murphy checked along the boards by Ogrodnik. Dale McCord trying to tie up Howes. Howes pass off the board comes to Dave Lewis. Now ahead to Jensen. Here over the line is Howes. Doug Howes, his pass knocked away by Ogrodnik. Here's Dale McCord, and he couldn't get to it. And a little more than a minute to play in the hockey game. The Wings will try to lift Rutherford. Now Mike Foligno. Foligno goes deep in the Detroit zone. Played along the boards, and that's Vasco with it. Vasco, the pass coming up to Dale McCord, and now Rutherford heads for the bench. Ogrodnik goes chasing in to the Los Angeles zone. The Wings want to face off here if they can get it. Here's a chance for Jim Korn. Korn moves into the corner with it. Wings with an empty net. The play in the Los Angeles end. Peter Mahovlich right out in front. Foligno gave it to Ogrodnik with a shot, and that's knocked down. And they're grabbing and holding out in front. Here now Vasco with a shot. It's blocked. Vasco holds it in. His pass will be broken up. Then Vasco is dumped there, and whistle has blown. And there's a penalty coming up to both. The play had been stopped a long time ago. The puck went into an empty net. It doesn't mean anything.
Now the only thing is,
the referee is going to wave two of them off.
There's going to be penalties for a play out in front of the net. I think Korn's involved with Howard.
24 seconds remaining.
The Wings had their chances, Bruce. The puck was out in front, and they were taking whacks at it, but couldn't put it in.
Sid, what the Wings are going to have to argue about, they ran a lot of time off the clock.
The clock did not stop. The play was up in center ice, and the clock kept moving, although the referee had blown it dead long before, way back at the net.
Jim Korn and the
Howard, I believe it is.
Howard going in. Korn has served 3 penalties in this period. Puck went down the other end of the net, and it was fired into the empty goal, and they ran some time off the clock, I'm quite sure. They didn't get the reason for the penalties.
No goal. The whistle has blown before the play.
The play was back in over the blue line. I don't know what they're doing about facing off up here in center ice. The play was stopped before it come out over the blue line, and the Kings got 1 break. The clock kept running.
Los Angeles penalty to number 3, Doug Howard. 2 minutes each for holding. Time.
I'm sure that they're checking now, the referee talking to the game timekeeper about the clock.
I agree with you. I can't for the life of me understand why they bring the face-off out to center ice. The penalties were called right in front of a Los Angeles goal, and the play was in there at the time. Red Wings have called a timeout. These are holding penalties, if you can believe it.
Right out in front of the net. Foligno got pulled down. Ogrodnik couldn't find the handle here, and when he turned around to shoot, the Los Angeles player, now there's where the penalty is going to be called. Number 3 has got a hold of Jim Korn, and he pulls him down. I don't know why Korn Korn probably involved with the goaltender too. They both got penalties right there.
The play was deep in the Los Angeles end when the penalty's called, so
they're bringing it out over the blue line though.
Bobby Crom up at the end of the bench is trying to figure the reason for this. Well, they still are going to call the penalties at 19:36, so they ran off some time on the clock. Bobby Crom, you can see he is a little unhappy with things right now. He's down a goal.
Well, he couldn't be unhappy with, he's unhappy with the score, but he couldn't be unhappy with his team tonight because they've all gone to the well for him, and they have played a terrific hockey game, though they are down by a goal with only 24 seconds to go. Penalties have hurt. The penalty early in the 3rd period to Jim Korn is the one that really broke the back to give LA a chance to come back and tie it so early in the 3rd period.
So the Wings still have an empty goal, and that puck lifted down the ice, knocked down at center ice. Picked up now by Vasco. That's Foligno. He drilled the shot, and the save made by Keynes. Here's Ogrodnik holding it in. Dale McCourt with it. McCourt gave it to Vasco. Oh, he just missed the open corner of the goal. And the puck came out to center ice. Foligno has it. There's just 2 seconds to go. Foligno took the shot, and it deflected wide. And the Red Wings did everything in the world but not only win this hockey game, but at least tie it. But instead, they skate off, losing a tough one 4-3. The 3rd period scoring summary brought to you by Magnavox and Fretter Appliance Stores. With the Red Wings scoring 3 times in the 2nd period to take a 3-2 lead, Jim Korn picked up an early penalty, and Charlie Simmer scored when the puck came off the boards directly to him with an open net. Rutherford had moved out to the left side. Puck came to the right, and Simmer backed it in for his 50th goal and a 3-3 tie. Then Billy Harris, the goal from goal up in San Laurent, a goal mouth scramble at 16:37, gave Los Angeles the 4-3 lead, and finally a 4-3 victory. So that's it, the 3rd period scoring summary brought to you by Magnavox and Fretter Appliance Stores. The end of the game with Los Angeles 4, Detroit 3. We'll return to the Forum in just a moment. So we say hello again from here at the Forum in Los Angeles, where the Detroit Red Wings lost a tough hockey game.
They lost a heartbreaker. They played a terrific game. It was a good hockey game to watch, Bruce, and just one of those things, such a big game for LA and a real heartbreaker for the Wings.
In the 3rd period, Detroit outshot Los Angeles 12-8. Overall, 34-27, but they lose the hockey game 4-3. 2 3rd period goals by the Los Angeles Kings, the difference in the hockey game. And the winner scored from a scramble out in front of the Detroit net by Billy Harris.
And this was the only time that the LA Kings really put pressure on the Wings. They controlled it down deep in the zone, picked up loose pucks behind the net, kept battling around. Jimmy Rutherford made a couple saves. He was down on his knees, and finally Harris picked it up around behind the net, circled the net, come back out, and he didn't get too much wood on it, but with the mess of players out in front, it just wiggled its way through. And what a big goal for LA to score. Jimmy made a play on him right there, and the puck, well, that's where it slides out. Now it comes back around behind the net again. This is where Harris gets a hold of it, and the Wings just can't finally get it to freeze it. If they could have frozen the puck even, they could have stopped it, but they dug it up, come around behind the net. He tried to jam it in the corner, and there's Harris coming in on a little backhander, slid it right along the ice. Jimmy Rutherford was on his knees and couldn't make the save.
So that takes care of the first of the Red Wings 3-game swing out on the west side of this country and up into Canada. Friday night, the Vancouver Canucks and the Red Wings. Our broadcast time on radio, WJR, 10:55 Friday night. And our next telecast a little more than a week away. So that's it. The final score here at the Forum in Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Kings 4, the Detroit Red Wings 3. We invite you to join us on 1 week from tomorrow, Thursday, at 8 o'clock, when the Detroit Red Wings will meet the Buffalo Sabres in Buffalo. Until then, this is Bruce Martin, along with Sid Abel, saying goodbye from Los Angeles.
Detroit Red Wing Hockey is brought to you by AMC, your Metro Detroit AMC dealer, featuring the American Eagle. And by Budweiser. For all you do, this Bud's for you. And by Peschke and the all-new Peschke Great American Premium line of products. And by Little Caesars, a winner any way you slice it. And by Bank of the Commonwealth, trying hardest to help.